It's June 19th, 2024. I am at Joel Pearl, and it's time to get in the weeds. A wonderful Wednesday with plenty to discuss. Jeremy's going to take a victory lap. I'm going to have some words with the internet. Everyone's going to come out a better person for having listened to this episode. Tell your friends now. Get up early. Tell them this is the show you want to watch. Every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern until God knows when. At least noon, sometimes longer. Depends how we're really feeling. If sometimes when Dynamite gets an overrun, we will too. And this week, they're advertising an overrun. So maybe we should too.
I feel like they get an overrun every single week. What do you mean you're going to have words with the internet, though, Joel? You're like going to argue with the internet? You know, the internet's a big place, unless you're going to argue with like your modem or something.
No, my modem's usually pretty standard. It's pretty good. It works well. The actual modem is in a closet where my laundry is at the front of the house, and then it's all wired through to. It's very complicated. It's really not. It's wired through. There's an Ethernet jack here where there's a Wi-Fi router. So there's a modem and then there's a router, and then in my kids' room there's another Ethernet jack that I wish I could tap. Well, I can't tap into it, but if I ever move into that office, that's going to be the space because eventually the kid's going to move in here. This is a bigger room, so I can do that. But anyway, I'm going to argue with the wall. I mean the internet. I mean not you people. I like our chat.
The wall, brother.
We're just gonna go nuts. We're gonna have words. But first, Jeremy Lambert is here. He's already made himself vocal in this episode. How are you doing?
I've already made myself vocal.
Well, typically I do the intro and then you say something after I introduce you.
2 minutes in. Usually I speak 2 minutes into the show.
Well, no, normally you would have said something, but I would have also thrown to you to introduce you, but you got into it because I said the thing about the internet and you jumped in, which is fine. Like that's part of the rapport. But normally I would introduce you formally and then say how you doing, and then we do the thing. But you popped early, which is fine. Sometimes you do that.
I thought you did. It's not good, pop early, kids. I thought you did introduce me. Did you not?
Well, I said your name and you appeared.
And I spoke. You say my name and I speak.
That's pretty much all you do. I mean, well, you do a lot. Who am I kidding?
What?
You pop off for us when it comes to shorts. You pop off for us when it comes to commentary. When it comes to
Speaking of, who cares about this wrestling and stuff and what I do for my work? Let's speak about pop off.
Let's go.
Popping out. Kendrick Lamar concert tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern to 10 p.m. Eastern. Don't care at all about the wrestling tonight. I will be watching the Kendrick Lamar concert.
Where is it airing?
I think it's on Twitch. I think it's streaming live on Twitch.
Wow, Amazon paying a pretty penny for Kendrick.
Yes. So I will be watching the Kendrick concert. Don't care. Whatever's on Dynamite. Who could possibly care? Kendrick Lamar concert. That's where it's at.
Will you be live streaming your reactions watching the concert on our twitch.tv/Fightful gaming platform?
Oh, no, that seems like too much work. I just want to enjoy the music.
That's the best part. I love it when people are like, oh, you guys should like live stream watching Raw and SmackDown. I'm like, you want to see what it looks like when I'm watching SmackDown? All right. Okay. All right.
Wow, pay attention to the product, Joel.
God, no. Ain't no way. That's basically what it's like. I give all the credit in the world to people who do reaction stuff. We used to do it on our Fightful Twitch channel during the pandemic because there was nothing else to do. We would watch the shows together and we'd be a group of 6 to 10 people and we'd do the thing. And then the pandemic, so it ended. People started going to shows again and we were like, this isn't fun, especially because the people who would normally go to shows are going back to shows. So they're not going to hop on to our stupid show. And that was it.
Yeah, me watching live watching wrestling isn't good either because I'm just working the entire time. So all you hear is me banging at my keyboard the whole time. And like, that's not interesting. The only good thing that ever came out of it was the Mountain Dew pitch black chug. That's it. It's the only thing that ever happened on a live stream that actually, was cool. I don't react well to wrestling. I'm not a big reaction guy when it comes to wrestling.
No, it's very, very seldom am I just like, oh, we're not really those people. We're kind of too even keeled for this shit. But my favorite thing is whenever you're watching some of these shows And what was it? I was going to say something ridiculous about this. No, it just the reactions. Reactions aren't for everybody, and we're not those people. But for you, I just love to see you just like just sitting at your computer.
It is not fun. It's not
Big
interesting.
question. The most important question: if we were to do one of those reaction shows, would we be more or less entertaining than the person who does it for WWE on their sidecast for Raw?
I've never watched those, but you tell me they're very bad.
Well, I'm pretty sure then you could deduce the answer based on that information.
I feel like I could at least, I could at least fake react well enough to make it interesting,
Yeah, you got to fake it till you make it. And apparently making it involves, being on Twitch in 2 hours on a Monday, watching everything but the good stuff, because they tune out by the third hour. They're just like, well, that's it for us. See you later. Bye. There was no reaction to the Wyatt stuff. We had the reaction. We had the reaction before the reaction happened. We were so ahead of the game that our reaction was the reaction everyone was supposed to have. We did it right. Jeremy got it right. We need to celebrate this for a minute. We even dropped a shorts on it. We dropped 2 shorts on it, and we were right. I mean, the first one, we were right. Let's face it. Let's talk about it.
Let me Barry Horowitz myself for a second. I can't actually do it. I'm very sore. Everybody, I did gymnastics last night. I'm not 20 anymore. God, I'm not 20 anymore. My body is telling me. My body is like, you idiot. Stop doing all this stuff. I put together a great floor routine to Umbrella by Rihanna, though. Tremendous floor routine. Nobody's ever going to see that video.
How are your flips?
I was looking like a Young Bucks match out there, doing all these flips and everything. Dragon Lee got nothing on me. It did feel, you know what, J&A's? That went through my head as I was like doing forward rolls and handstand bumps and things like that. I did think, you know what? I feel like I could take a halfway decent bump on the Smitty here. But of course, I'm landing on like nice soft mats. I'm not landing on a ring. God knows what kind of ring Cole's putting together too,
Well, also on top of that, there are no tables in gymnastics for you to go through.
Yeah.
There will be at the Smitty, though.
It did feel like a little bit of Smitty prep, if I'm being honest with you, J&A's. And if this is how I feel after landing on mats and stuff, God, I can't imagine how I'm going to feel after doing whatever the hell Cole Radrick has designed for me here. So the Wyatt Sicks. Before we get to the Wyatt Sicks, people please say nice things about my shorts videos that I've been making. I feel I've already improved in 3 videos. The first one was just a straight shot of me. Now I've got a little template that I've pieced together for this last one. I feel like it looks pretty good. I feel like I'm doing okay for someone who literally just tried to learn online this weekend. It's like, yeah, you know what I should do? Create more work for myself. That's what I should do. God knows I don't do enough around here.
But it's fun.
Let me create more work for myself.
It's good work. It's fun work. And you know what? You deserve the praise. You did it. We talked about doing it, and all of a sudden you were like, what do you think of this? I'm like, oh, okay, this is great. And then we got better and better, and this was great. They're glorious. Tell your friends. And while you're telling your friends about the shorts, by the way, leave a thumbs up on this video, and also subscribe to our channel here at Fightful Overbooked. That's where we are every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, plus other stuff that drops on the channel. And if you want to donate a super chat, any amount, get your question or statement around in the air, and the fireworks appear. Say his name in $signs, and fireworks appear. I believe in Jeremy Lambert. Send the monetary amount associated with the name Jeremy Lambert. That's what I'm trying to say.
Sure. Anyway. The wife is also reminding me that we went to the pool yesterday, and all the 12 kids want to wrestle. So I wrestle a bunch of kids at the pool, then go do gymnastics. It's a lot.
It's a regular Monday Night Raw in 2012 for you, John Cena versus the entire roster.
So the Wyatt Sicks. People are like, how did you know it was going to be murder? They promised a massacre. Do you know?
Okay, it's not fair that his internet goes the moment he gets to take his victory lap. It's just not fair.
I
So
got
I'm gonna wait
murdered.
now you're back.
Yeah.
You literally started your comment and you went and froze, and I was like, come on.
I know.
Start again, please.
They promised a massacre, Joel. Chat. Everybody. You know what massacres are, right? It's not a church gathering. It's a lot of murders. Get it? Massacres. Get it?
Yeah. Mass.
Yeah. It's murder. A lot of death. That's all it is. So if they're going to promise me a massacre, I'm going to expect a lot of death. That's it. That's what I did. That's all I tried to ask. Just give me some death. And they did that. And also, you want to know how else I pieced this all together? I just thought about what would be the dumbest but most awesome stuff that they could possibly do. Death. Not enough deaths in wrestling. I know TNA does it. Otherwise, not enough. WWE going full bore with it. Rules. Absolutely rules. Again, you can watch the short. Don't need them wrestling. People are already getting mad about this. For the most part, it seems like people liked it. You know, it was for a select group of people, obviously, and they enjoyed it. But then you got the people, good shout, Senior Nerd.
I was close. This is how dumb I am. Not even dumb. I was going to actually do the It's Murder, but then I just left it. I was like, someone else will pick it up.
Murder, your life's on the line.
Only one of the
50
only
Cent.
references I can give you. But anyway.
50 Cent killed them, smoked them. So people are mad about like this whole thing. And I get why, because, you know, people are just going to be mad. Let's be mad online. Like WWE has a vision for this. Bo Dallas has a vision for this. I don't know how it's going to play out. I don't. Do I think it's going to work well in a wrestling setting? Not sure, honestly. The Bray stuff, when the matches happened, it didn't always work. It just did. I love the Bray stuff. But when the bell rings, I understand people's concern of when the bell rings. That's why I don't want the bell to ring, because it's dumb. Who cares? But I understand people's concern that when the bell rings, what's going to happen? I get that. I do. But you know what? Let's see where it goes. Let's see what happens. Let's see what they bring to the table here. The Chad Gable thing was really interesting. You joked, kind of sort of, about the CG and like who are they targeting with the CG. It turns out it was Chad Gable, and you know, he got dropped by Alpha Academy, and now he's just, I guess, dead.
Well,
is he gonna come back as like Shorty G?
No.
Why not?
So I don't think that's where we're going with this. Although, remember, the Fiend did change people, so maybe Uncle Howdy's group, the Wyatt Sicks, makes people regress. So they'll get to Rey Mysterio, and Mysterio will become like maskless, filthy animals. Rey Mysterio. Are we gonna get the filthy animals back in WWE? Remember the filthy animals?
Hell yeah, I do. Bow wow wow, yippee yo, yippee yay.
Not that guy needs to come though. He can stay where he is. He can stay doing whatever he's doing. He's fine. To play out all yours. But instead, the Gable thing. Okay, first of all, Kim Gray, I was waiting for you. I knew you'd come. Saying, by the way, Bo Gray loved the reveal. I'm glad. I saw the photo that you sent to me and also to Kate, maybe two others as well. That Bo was like fixated on the TV, excited for this whole thing. Those are the type of people and moments that I love, because wrestling is a variety show. This, like you said, this Wyatt Sicks thing is not going to be for everyone. Some of this stuff is going to get people, you know, saying this is, you know, it's supernatural. There was no supernatural anything on this. This was a massacre. This was, you know, a bunch of people wearing masks looking spooky. Yes. But they were doing horror movie stuff. They weren't doing supernatural beam me up or any weird stuff on the mat type of stuff. This was fine. So Chad Gable gets taken out. I think they did a really good job of making it look very extreme with what they did, that they really went to town on these people. And didn't necessarily murk them. I think the idea here was that they bludgeoned them pretty badly. I think what was supposed to be coming down.
Chad Gable had a bullet hole in his head.
Okay, so this is the problem with makeup artistry sometimes, is that I think some people saw it as a bullet hole, whereas I look at it as a bludgeoning from a, I don't know, giant hammer from a guy who was standing off.
That hammer was this wide. That hole in his head was that.
I get it. This is why wrestling isn't exactly, a high art when it comes to a lot of this stuff. It's thought out well. Sometimes execution, is different. Now, why do I say it's a bludgeoning? Well, Chad Gable is supposed to be in a triple threat next week in a qualifying match for Money in the Bank. I think that match still happens, but I think Chad Gable gets replaced by Otis. Why do I say that? Remember when Gable said, "No, you're fired from the Alpha Academy"? What did he say after that, Jeremy? He said,
I don't remember.
I'm going to do what you couldn't do, Otis. I'm going to win Money in the Bank. I'm going to cash in the briefcase, and I'm going to be a champion. Just you wait and see. Well, Otis is going to get the opportunity that Gable's getting taken away from him. And then Gable's going to try and get it back under whatever this new guise of his is. If he comes back and he's more evil than ever before, maybe the Creeds and the Ivy Nile follow through with it. I don't know why I called her the Ivy Nile. Maybe that's her new gimmick. I don't know. Regardless, the point of all this is everything comes around to Money in the Bank and the Gable and the Otis thing. This was how to replace him in Money in the Bank, and then maybe tell a different story with the Wyatts and with Gable and the former Alpha Academy. That's where I'm going with it right now.
I think the story is Gable turned his back on family. And the Wyatts don't like that. The Wyatts are all about the family, keeping the family together. Don't keep the family away, LeBron, Curry. Keeping the family together. And I don't like that Chad just shunned these people and was like, I don't need you. He down talked to them, talked down to them. He was very mean to them. He bullied them, criticized them. The moment Otis walks away, continues to bury them. The Wyatts took exception to that. That was my read on why they attacked Gable anyway, though, is they're all about family. They're all about sticking together. And they didn't like it. They were not fans of what Chad Gable did. So I would say that anybody else that might be thinking of turning their back on their family, think twice, or you might die.
Or get bludgeoned very badly.
Don't turn your back on family. You might wind up in a body bag.
Wow. Lone Wolf, Chad Gable.
I don't know who people thought it was like Braun Strowman. People thought it was Gunther. The only one that was recognizable was Gable. So I'm not assuming or asserting anybody else got attacked.
Yeah, even people were saying that it was Triple H who got attacked, but no, Triple H doesn't have a big tattoo on his forearm, which is what you could see from the person being attacked. It was the idea here was that it was Chad Gable. 100% it was Chad. They showed you it was Chad. Anybody else was just not someone you're supposed to recognize or know. They didn't even show you Pierce. Adam Pierce wasn't a part of it, but he had his Twitter hacked and turned into Postman for 5 minutes, which was a good throwback to when he was Postman Pierce during the Bray Wyatt Firefly Funhouse era. I like that. But other than that, it was pretty much made to make you know that it was absolutely Chad Gable. No further questions as to whether or not I was backstage. No, I don't have any gas masks. I have lucha masks, but I don't have any gas masks.
I don't know. You're looking sus, Joel.
What are you talking about? Me sus? Never.
Sus.
I know what you're talking about. Hey, what time? Show over yet? Gotta go. Okay, bye.
Look, I'm looking forward to where this goes. My expectations are what they are. I don't care about the wrestling. People know that. They wrestle fine. Now, I jokingly tweeted, there's a 4-star match every show. We're going to watch Dynamite tonight. There are going to be a couple 4-star matches. Pac and Claudio, at least 4 stars. Bucks and Acclaimed, probably going to be 4 stars. 4-star matches every show. 4 stars murdered every show. Give me people killed every single show. Again, people are going to do and then the bell rings. type of thing. And I get it. I do. Keep your complaints to yourself. I'm kidding. You can complain if you want.
Not
You
here.
can complain if you
Not
want.
here.
It's fine.
Not here.
It's
no
fine.
complaining here. You're not allowed to complain here. We take no complaints. The reveal was good. There are talks that
It was fantastic.
It was. You know what? I will go so far as to say it was fantastic. I'll also tell you, Jeremy, I'm going to tell you the truth. 10:30 came around, and it was yeet. And I was like, oh, main event time. Go to bed.
Yeet case?
Yeah.
That man said yeet case.
I heard yeet case, and I'm like, well, there's the marketing. I'm going to bed. I went to bed. I did. I went to bed before Raw ended. People know I'm solo parenting this week. My wife's out of town. So it was me.
Why'd you go to bed? You knew the Wyatt Sicks was still coming.
So I did, and I was like, I'm not talking about it tomorrow. So I'm pretty sure I'll be okay if I just watch it in the middle of the night when I inevitably wake up at 3 a.m., which I did, and then I watched it. Well, let me tell you about what my Monday night was. My Monday night, I went and I grabbed the kid from school. I brought him home. Again, we have a 45-minute commute from daycare to our house. That's fine. We get back and we're sitting down for dinner. And all of a sudden I get my phone starts ringing, and it's the building, the garage door buzzer code. Okay. And I was like, I'm not expecting anyone. I'm not letting anyone in. And then I think to myself, is my mother-in-law here? It was my mother-in-law trying to get into the building, and she hadn't called me or told me in advance that she was coming. So that's step one. My mother-in-law shows up unannounced. So they're here, and my kid's ecstatic because, you get to see grandmas. Everything's great. Eventually I put the kid down. I'm on the phone with my wife. And then my camera is on my phone. And I'm on the phone with my wife. So I'm not watching the camera. He's normally fine when you put him down. So I get off the phone with my wife. Good night. See you tomorrow. And I turn on the camera and I see Jeremy. I see the murder before the murder started on Raw. The kid had thrown up in the bed, which is rare. Very rare does this happen. And I went and I was like, what happened? And luckily he hadn't fallen asleep yet. He wasn't crying. He was just lying there. And I was like, oh, you poor son of a bitch. So I run over to the room, and essentially what I think happened was that a mix of the excitement from having grandma over, and I went and I double checked
over the Wyatts debut.
The Wyatts were coming. He was very excited for that. And Monday Night Raw. And also I looked at the yogurt that he had for dinner. It literally was, the expiration date was that day.
No.
So I think
check that stuff, Joel.
And I do normally. There was enough going on. Long story short, he was fine. I changed the sheets, changed him. Everything was good. He literally got Wyatt sick in his bed the night of the Wyatt Sicks. Good for him. So clean him up, got everything doing, and put him down. He went to sleep. And yeah, that was my Monday night. So I was a little bit done at that point. Next thing you know, he was asleep. Everything was great. And then we got to 10:30. I've been up since 5 a.m. I was like, I saw Yeet, and I was like, main event, Jey Uso can main event.
Jey Uso rules.
He can do the main event tomorrow morning when I'm watching. I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to relax. And I did. And everything was great. Kid was fine. It was just the one thing was he got sick from the excitement of the Wyatt Sicks.
Look, if people didn't like the Wyatt Sicks debut and stuff, I totally get that. The spooky stuff, not for them. Totally get it. I'm not the biggest House of Black fans for kind of similar reasons. My difference is House of Black wants to be spooky, and then they just talk in tongues, and then they do misting that may or may not go anywhere. Like Bray is so over the top, and this is so over the top. Like they're literally murdering people. It's so over the top that it pops me. If House of Black killed people, I'd be all in on them. If they actually tried to do some decapitations or ripping limbs off, I'd be all in on them. Instead, they're just you will pay for your sins. Oh, I'm gonna steal your wedding ring. So Swerve is out here cutting fingers off. Swerve was going way further than House of Black ever did with how they were threatening people. So that's why I can't get behind House of Black with their spooky lore stuff. That's the difference. To me, that's the difference. Is Bray, what he would do, he would be so out there. That's what I loved about Bray. Man thought outside the box like structure. You know? Loved it. So Ryan says, all right. So Ryan says, my take on Wyatt, man, I've been burned with all the Wyatt poor booking under Vince. It's killed the excitement I had for it. Very fair.
Yes.
Very, very fair. And I try to keep that in mind. I will say that it's obviously going to be different under Triple H. I think everybody involved obviously wants it to succeed. I think everybody involved, including Triple H and whoever's agenting or working on it and whatever, doesn't want this to fail because it's, they're doing this to obviously continue a story, but also honor Bray. And they don't want this to fail because of that as well. What happened last year with the WrestleMania booking of Bray, we learned that Vince may or may not have been meddling in things all the way up until and a little after WrestleMania. Did that get involved in what Bray wanted to do? Don't know. Maybe a little bit. But I think everybody involved wants this to succeed. Now, whether or not it can succeed in a wrestling setting, different story. And I do have some doubts about that because there is and then the bell rings, doubts that I don't know how this works once the bell actually rings. But I'm willing to give it a chance. That's also why the bell should never ring, just kill people. Willing to give it a chance because I think everyone involved has good intentions of wanting this to work. It may not work. It may just be a little bit too much and they book themselves into a corner and they can't figure out how to get out of it because Uncle Howdy can't get hurt or whatever's going on with the other people. They have to be some type of, I don't want to say supernatural, but a mightier than. And so it hurts the overall feeling once the match comes back.
So 3 things. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Make a point.
I was going to say, Henry said when Bray came back, it was under Triple H and it was not good. Maybe not to you.
That also wasn't under Triple H. Triple H was there, but that was when Vince brought his way back into the company.
And that's kind of what I referenced is, early 2024 or way
2022.
Yeah. Late. Well, he came back in late 2022. Came back in late September.
Yeah.
Early 2023 is when Vince started meddling into things. And yeah, I don't know. The Mountain Dew match was what it was. I know people didn't like it. Popped me, but I thought it was great. But yeah, that's why I do have concerns with once the bell rings type of thing. So I get that. I completely get that concern.
Now, my feeling is one way that you can tell this story and make it different and interesting is having an endpoint and working your way back from it. And the endpoint being, I don't necessarily want to use the word redemption, but I think if I use that word, people understand where I'm coming from. They eventually all become characters that are different from the angry people that they are starting as. So in some way, they all become maybe a baby face presentation, but I'm not saying they become white meat baby faces everyone can love, but instead, as they start to realize where their wrongs were righted or where they can be righted, the character shifts, the character changes. And I'm hoping that there's something in the way that they're telling the story, and this could be a year down the line, 2 years down the line, where the character shift becomes away from wanting retribution, not that group, a new group. These guys are retribution. Well, no, they're not. They want the retribution now, and then later on, they start seeing that they're finding their way, and they start to, I don't know, there's got to be a way that they become less evil over time. They become friends, and then maybe Maybe the Sicks were the friends we made along the way. No, I don't know. But either way, the point is I hope that they work their way backwards and they actually find some sort of salvation, or they some sort of idea that they started off so angry and they eventually do kind of break out of this. I don't necessarily want them to all revert back to their original states where Joe Gacy becomes weird cult leader. Not even cult leader. He started off with like weird whatever. Just go back and watch his NXT start. He has other stories that he's done, but the start on NXT was weird. You got Dexter Lumis, if he goes back to being, well, Dexter Lumis, and then Rowan becomes Wyatt Family Rowan. It's all the same. My God, everything we're doing is all the same. But the idea here is that as long as there's something here and they don't just, yeah, they want sanity. Sanity is a good idea. They just want to be sane again. And they do have to ring the bell, but this time at least there are competent wrestlers behind these masks. And a lot of them have already been wrestling this kind of spooky style, or at least this like evil person style for a while. Dexter Lumis has always been someone that people are scared of, quote unquote, in the ring. Rowan as well. Same thing with Joe Gacy. Lately with the way he was finishing up in NXT, he was weird and spooky. He was insane. That's good. Nikki Cross, another perfect example. These are wrestlers who already know how to wrestle that style. And now you just got to hope that the Bo Dallas Uncle Howdy character, if he's going to get in the ring, would do it too. So there is room for it.
You've also got to, you can't have it live on its own after something like they did on Monday. You know, New Day mentioned, yeah, we got out of there. We're done. We knew something was afoot. We left. Jey Uso, when he did the backstage segment, was like, they can have them Fireflies back. Nope, I'm out. I'm done. I'm piecing out of this whole thing. Like the night ended with the backstage area completely trashed, production people taken out, Chad Gable dead. That one dude who got his head splattered against the wall, he's definitely dead.
Oh, like, so dead.
So it can't just Raw opens and let's go to our qualifying match for the Money in the Bank. Like, it can't fully be that. I think Adam Pearce, if he's alive, maybe needs to address something. And that's where I think that where it can be a little difficult of it has to be part of the show. It has to be a big part of the show. But how do you make it a big part of the show without it getting in the way of the rest of the show? Because it's not like a AEW, the Young Bucks take out Tony Khan, because that was based in realism. This is obviously based in a little horror setting type of thing. So how does this play into potentially something with Damian Priest and Seth Rollins, as Seth Rollins returned? Weisel mentioned, SmackDown, they're different brands, but they're the same company. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. The QR codes were on SmackDown. So why would SmackDown be not part of this? I don't think it will be. It probably should be. SmackDown should open more murders.
Could you imagine having to draft these people? And in the 2025 WWE draft, SmackDown selects the Wyatt Sicks, and the Wyatt Sicks are just standing there being like, we weren't in the draft pool. When did this happen? And Bo's just like, no, it's cool. I got an idea. And he just pulls out a shiv. He's like, let's get to work.
SmackDown should open and the backstage area should be wrecked and more people should be dead. That's how SmackDown should open. And then Cody comes out and he goes, adrenaline, and I got my pyro back. Yay. And then
adrenaline in my soul. These 6 guys just murdered everyone. Anyway, yeah, just someone pointing out, throwing out merch on WWE Shop kind of ruined the moment for me.
Fair.
That's a good point. I just laughed. I was like, oh no. But the idea of having to bring it up on SmackDown, yeah, I agree. You need to make sure that you emphasize how crazy this was, and just how like important it is that people got bludgeoned, people got taken out. Some people may have been taken down permanently. They need to make reference to it. The show should open with it, and there will definitely be the video package opening, And then hopefully it's Aldis being like, we brought extra security to tonight. Yeah, someone's saying like heavy security. They'll have heavy security tonight, blah, blah, blah. We need to make sure they can't get in. But then they get in because that's just how SmackDown ends. And then let them take Aldis hostage or something. Let the Wyatts, so they take over SmackDown. What do they want? Who knows? They're a vigilante group. But something needs to happen on SmackDown that at least references the fact that it's important that what happened on Monday doesn't happen again. And maybe an update on the people who were, taken out on Monday.
I think there should be that. They should definitely reference it. And they should do the extra security stuff. And they should all, like, if they don't do anything, just even say, like, hope they don't show up here type of thing. And then, but at least make them a little afraid and they might show up. Maybe you don't have to go as intricate as the entire backstage area is completely trashed. I do like your idea of like they kidnap somebody or they just kill somebody off who isn't super important.
Murder mystery on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Then what? You got RJ City just sitting in the backstage of AEW being like, shit, that was my idea.
Yeah, they should Garza or Umberto.
No, they went back to Florida this week. They got smart on Tuesday.
Yeah. I like Louis production issues because they just have a bunch of temps in there. I like that idea.
No, it's the Wyatt Sicks running production. They already know how to get their QR codes on the screen. They should run a fluid, perfect, and you just see them in the back, like, ready, camera one, take one. And it's Dexter Loomis just sitting in the chair, and he's doing all the camera calls. Someone's saying they should take Apollo Crews hostage. Okay,
sure. See, that's the thing is you got to make this a big deal. It can't just be unto itself on one show. Though that reveal made it bigger than life. So you got to kind of follow up on that. And that is potentially an issue for them. Is I don't know if I got full trust that they can do that or that they can do it long enough. Maybe they can. Maybe this is the new leaf for Triple H, or not the new leaf, but like, the new direction.
Oh, there's a new direction thing that Sean always does. You get Ricochet, bring him back for a couple of weeks just to have him. He gets taken hostage, and Pierce and Aldis are just like, all right, have at him. Do whatever you want. Okay. And Ricochet's like, no, guys, no, as he gets carried away to the back. It's a Who Killed Kenny. Every week they find a way to take out Ricochet. But every week he survives.
They should attack CM Punk. Be great.
We'll talk about that in a second. I have a feeling that'll end somewhere else. You know what I really do think they're going to do is they're going to say Chad Gable's not dead. He's in the hospital. He has a serious injury, blah, blah, blah. If they do a hospital thing, I wouldn't mind seeing, going back to the Otis situation. What they did on Monday with Otis just kind of shoving Gable and then saying, I quit. I don't know. I don't think that was big enough. I don't think that was his moment per se. So either Otis goes back to Gable's side feeling so guilty over what happened because they were gone. They left. And because they left, Gable got jumped by the Wyatts. Maybe that was and again, we saw the whole CG and that was maybe planned. But in Otis's mind, maybe he didn't know that. And now he feels absolutely guilty. So they all come crawling back to Gable to make him feel bad. And Gable says, go and win the match for me. Or again, Otis gets thrown into the triple threat and he feels guilty. And that's what starts a rejoining of them together for temporary reasons because he feels so bad. It becomes Stockholm Syndrome because that's what it was for Alpha Academy. And then eventually they do the actual breakup in a few weeks. Okay. But Gable's not dead.
I don't know.
He ain't dead.
Should I ask him?
No. You should. You should probably tweet at him.
I will.
Hey, nobody else has asked, so maybe it's time we get the tweet answer.
He's not tweeted since Father's Day. Let's see. All right, we'll tweet at Chad Gable here. Hold on.
Yeah, Karrion Kross should just start gaslighting Otis. Works for the rest of New Day.
Man, Chad Gable, Karrion Cross, hold on. Hey, at Gable WWE, are you okay?
Could you just write R U letters, like R letter U
Nah, I've
letter?
already tweeted
Okay.
it.
Oh no. Would have been funny if you did it the troll way.
That's fine. All right, there. I've asked Chad Gable, asking the real questions.
Yeah, seriously. Journalism at its finest. Where's this tweet?
Karrion Cross was supposed to wrestle Kofi or Woods on Monday's show, and then they were like, never mind. We'll just do a challenge thing, and then Kofi is going to take the challenge next week. Just didn't do the match. They advertised the match, and then they just didn't do it. And like no one seemed to care because, sure, but we were supposed. I was waiting for my Karrion Cross and Xavier Woods match on Monday, and I never got it. They advertised it, Joel.
Yeah, but then they gave you the video package, being like, "Next week we'll do it." They were smart enough to get out of there, and I do appreciate that Woods looked increasingly annoyed at Kofi for stepping all over him, taking his spot. I like that little wrinkle in the plan. Are they going to break up the New Day? Is it? Is this over? Are we done?
People are like, oh, they need to break up the New Day.
People have been saying that for 5 years, 10 years almost.
Yeah, because like, oh, they can't do anything else on their own. Like, they can. They can do other stuff. They don't have to actually have a breakup. They've talked about that many times. Or they can just be booked stronger as a tag team. And that would be a novel concept too, because they haven't really been booked all that strong as a team, and God knows when. I care about my Xavier Woods matches, all right? That other guy. Xavier Woods, love Xavier Woods.
Just so people know. Jeremy loves Xavier Woods.
Yes. He's great. I
He
want
is.
good things for Xavier Woods, like him wrestling on television.
Me too. I just thought you had more to say about that.
No, that's all.
It's a big deal. This Friday, SmackDown, CM Punk's going to be there. Meanwhile, Drew McIntyre may never be back again. He quit Jeremy Lambert. He quit and he's never coming back. He said deuces, and he left. He's never coming back to WWE. He's done. He's going to be at Slammiversary. He's going to be in the TNA title match. Him and Moose are going to have a one-on-one match, and that's what Drew McIntyre is doing. But CM Punk's coming to Chicago, his hometown. Nobody's going to interrupt CM Punk in his hometown when he's trying to give news about how he's feeling. Right?
I don't think Drew McIntyre is actually going to like show up on SmackDown. I don't.
He's going to let CM Punk have his moment?
Yeah, I think CM Punk's going to have whatever moment he has. I don't think Drew is going to come back. I think he might stay away until Money in the Bank, honestly.
There's a possibility that happens. There's another part of me that thinks, once again, Jeremy, what title are these two fighting over?
The title of the best in the world.
The title of King Petty. And King Petty just came and checkmate Drew McIntyre in his hometown. So what is Drew McIntyre going to do? Turnabout, fair play.
He can't do anything. He got checkmated.
That's true.
He can start a new game.
So we start a new game.
Okay.
I don't play chess very well at all.
Clearly.
Yeah, I'm not good at that. But the idea here is that you go after one guy in his hometown, you go after the other guy in his hometown. You got to do it. You got to, if Drew says, if CM Punk says, I'm cleared, I got the news, blah, blah, blah. Wham, here comes Drew McIntyre, takes him out with the Claymore and says, welcome back, bitch. Because you got to say bitch because it's WWE. You got it. It's just the way it goes.
He should decapitate him with that sword The Rock gave him.
That's a good idea. I think someone in the chat had made reference to the sword.
Then he wins.
Yeah, he got a nice sword from The Rock and he dipped. Well, he's going to go get that sword and he's going to bring it back. Take out CM Punk.
Clearly, murder is allowed in WWE now. So,
but we don't know that yet. Friday might come around and we're going to find out that the person is, Chad Gable is the person's name, is actually in a coma. somewhere in Tacoma. That's in Washington State.
Yeah, that's Washington. They were in Texas. That doesn't work.
Yeah, but I mean, you can get airlifted somewhere. You
Why would
go
they
down,
do that?
I don't know. You go down in Lake Tahoe, you end up in Reno. That's what I found out this week.
Okay.
That's Nevada. Tahoe's in wherever Lake Tahoe is.
Okay.
Anyway.
You okay?
I don't know why I went there. Drew McIntyre, the idea here is that he's going to show up and potentially beat up CM Punk in his hometown. But they both saw the QR codes. They decided to duck out early. Drew's like, forget it. CM Punk's like, I'm not coming to work. I know what those QR codes are doing. I look at them. I'm on social media. I'm forever online. I saw the date. I'm not coming to work that day. See you in Chicago. That's all. Can we stop with this Adam Cole thing? Let me tell you a little secret. Watch BTE. They brought him back to life with a seance. Bring it up again. You know what I'm going to do to you. Back to Drew and CM Punk and the QR codes, shall we?
It makes sense that Punk comes out and he's like, I'm cleared. And here comes Drew to ruin that and just immediately attack him and take the moment from him. It does. I think it also makes sense of Drew just biding his time. And Drew, I don't want to say not focusing on Punk. Like, I jokingly tweeted that everything I tweet's a joke. But, you know, Jey Uso is going to be up. He almost has the yeet case, and then Broken Dreams hits, and Jey has to do the Ali of shocked face, and here comes Drew. But Drew, like, not forgetting about Punk, but also his goal is the title. Punk's in his way. He gets that briefcase. Then, you know, he becomes almost next in line to win that title. Yeah, he's the hypocrite, but who cares? He's got the briefcase. He can go after the title. CM Punk can't do anything necessarily about that. I think there's a story there as well that Drew, he doesn't forget about Punk. He knows Punk's there, but he's still focused on his world title goal. How does he get that? That has to supersede his hatred for CM Punk.
But where does Seth Rollins fit in all this? Because he's also in a world title hunt.
What do you mean, where does he fit in? Seth is going to beat Damian Priest and then face Gunther at SummerSlam. I think that's pretty cut and dry.
I don't know. Everyone's been yelling and screaming from the top of the rooftops last week that it was going to be Drew McIntyre beating Damian Priest in Scotland. Who knows? Damian Priest could easily beat, not easily, but he could beat Seth Rollins. They could do a thing. Seth is still hurt. Damian's going to focus on the knee. Maybe Gunther gets involved and stops anything because he thinks that it's going to be easier for him to take out Damian. I don't know.
No, Gunther shouldn't get involved at all.
I don't think so either. I think it'll just be someone from Judgment Day. I don't think, like Barkov's saying, I think Priest takes it to SummerSlam as well. Okay. I think that Seth gets defeated. I think he gets beaten because there's a certain amount of backlash that would come. Listen, Seth Rollins, huge star. Do not get me wrong. Major player. So glad he's back. I was shocked, happily so, that he's back so quickly, no less, after surgery. But to have him come in and immediately win the world title, granted, they found a good way to get him the world title shot without making it look like he just waltzed his way in. They babyfaced him, right? Seth Rollins comes in, says
babyface.
Yeah, he comes in and he's just like, I want to earn my way. I'll be in Money in the Bank. And then for Damian Priest to come out and say, nope, I wanted to cash in on you for Money in the Bank at WrestleMania. I didn't get that opportunity. I want to beat you instead like a man because I have something to prove. I would rather they get that thing to prove with Damian Priest than have Seth Rollins walk in and win the title on his first title attempt back. I'd rather keep it that way. Rather keep the title on Priest and go into the match against Gunther.
Okay.
That's where I am.
And maybe they do that. To me, it seemed like Seth coming back was like, oh, well, now you can do Seth and Gunther at SummerSlam. You tease that before the Rumble. You tease that possibility there. And now you can do it at SummerSlam because Seth wins. Seth is a babyface. Priest is still kind of in between. Like, it was kind of a babyface move on Monday, but he's also still technically a heel because Judgment Day are heels. So it's a weird spot with Priest. I just don't know if they're going to do Priest and Gunther never felt like the match to me. It never felt like the match at SummerSlam.
Well, that's kind of what they're trying to get you to not understand, but make you believe that it could be if Priest beats major opponents, Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins. Even, you could say it started with Jey Uso. Again, I make reference the Jey Uso match wasn't great, but it was still someone who was in a main event position leading into he's beating bigger and bigger opponents, that when he gets to Gunther, it does that thing where it elevates both Gunther as a wrestler, which he's already very top tier, but it also has elevated Damian Priest, that he's not being looked at as super paper champion. He's being looked at as guy who beat Drew McIntyre, guy who beat potentially Seth Rollins, guy who's walking in with a really good record. And Gunther is also walking in with a great record. One King of the Ring, won every match on the way, because that's what you do in a tournament. And now maybe you'll have one or two after Money in the Bank to solidify that he is the guy. And then that way you build up the match. Plus, there are other matches at SummerSlam. It's going to be an ensemble card. Cody's match is going to be a big deal. Whatever they do with the Bloodline, that'll be a big deal. The women's side of things, Bayley's got Nia Jax. They're going to build that well. And of course, the Liv Morgan story. Whether if it's Rhea, that's one thing, but we don't know. But if it's not, then there's an opportunity to build the Liv and the Dom story, along with whatever's going on with Finn and the other members of Judgment Day.
Sure. Here's why I don't buy Priest, though. And it's not necessarily because of who he has or has not beaten. He beat Jay, he needed Judgment Day help. He beat Drew, he needed CM Punk help. If he beats Seth, I don't know if he's going to need help or not. It's not necessarily... They are doing a good job of giving him big wins. He needs help for these victories. And two, he's a heel in my mind. Priest against Gunther, I'm not sold on a heel and heel feud or match between these two when Gunther runs through people, doesn't really need any help beating anybody. And then Priest, another heel, needs some help to beat people. He won the title with the cash in and everything. That's why I'm not really sold on the match. It's not necessarily, again, who Priest has beaten. It's that I view Priest as a heel, and I view him as a lesser than heel than Gunther. Seth, babyface, who already has all the accolades in the world, being the champion, being the underdog champion, fighting a monster like Gunther, much easier sell. Feels like a much bigger match to me. Even if Priest beats Seth, one, he should probably beat him clean, because if he needs more help, that still throws me off. Victor's saying Priest will be a face by SummerSlam, and maybe they do end up fully baby facing Priest by SummerSlam. And if that's the case, then I'll come around and I might be way more sold on the match. They got a month and a half to get there. So I'm not saying this is not impossible for them to do. I'm saying right now, June 19th, in this moment, this is how I'm feeling about the direction of the match.
Yeah, I get it. I fully understand. And I'm in agreement with chat that I think that there's a good chance that Damian Priest is either babyfaced or at least put in a position to be more cheered than Gunther going into SummerSlam. We also haven't seen Gunther since King of the Ring, since the night after King of the Ring, when he came out and basically said, see you at SummerSlam. He hasn't been back since. It's been all Ludwig Kaiser. So after Money in the Bank, I like that they're kind of leaving Gunther in the background, because Money in the Bank means nothing to him. He's got a title shot. Instead, he's going to bide his time, and eventually he'll come back when it means something, and that'll be once the Priest stuff with Seth Rollins kind of clears for now. And I think that Priest giving the match to Seth Rollins was the beginning of Priest becoming more vulnerable, therefore more of a babyface kind of presentation. Doesn't mean stupid babyface, but at least it means he wants to fight with more character and more valor. So for him, giving this title shot to Seth, not because he wants to, but because he has to beat him to prove himself, it works both sides well. And that's where he should be if they're working on a turn that's a little more organic than just the Judgment Day jumped him out and they're more evil than he is. So we'll see where they land after Money in the Bank. But it feels to me like whatever happens with Gunther is he comes back and he's more evil than he was before. He's meaner than evil. That's another guy. Sorry.
I should bring in Evil. Rule, put the title on him.
Bring in Evil, team him with Braun Breaker, and the team together could be meaner than Evil.
It does seem like they're trying to babyface Priest. And I like the kind of slow build they've done. They were doing it a little bit before the Drew stuff, because Drew was such a heel. And Priest kind of came off as the babyface there. When he was facing Ray, he's like, I don't want to do this. He was trying to tell Judgment Day, back away, like, we don't need to do this type of thing. And Judgment Day was looking at him sideways and everything. Priest is getting some cheers. It was a babyface move, what he was doing with Seth. So you can see the inkling of the babyface turn there. This is why if he's going to beat Seth, it should probably be pretty cut and dry clean. Because that's where, if he needs help and stuff, I don't think that helps Priest as a babyface. If you're going to tell me I'm not a transitional champion, I'm not a paper champion, I've beaten all these people, cool, then beat them clean and I'll buy it more, and I'll buy you as a babyface more. Because if you tell me I'm not a transitional champion, but then you need all this help to win, that seems like a heel thing to me. Like, I'm not a transitional champion, but I also need a bunch of help to win. Like, you're not a transitional champion, but I think you kind of suck as a person, so I want to boo you, and I think you are a heel.
Do you consider CM Punk's involvement in the Magic Clash of the Castle part of that? Because Priest doesn't say, I called him or I asked for his help. Do you consider that part of the whole, I can't buy him as a champion or I can't take him seriously? Do you consider that? Okay.
Yes, this is why I need him to have some clean victory. Even if he didn't ask for the help, even if he didn't ask Judgment Day for the help against Jey Uso, they just did it on their own volition. CM Punk did it because he hates Drew McIntyre. That's still how he won the match. I can't just fully like, oh, he didn't ask for it. This is how he's winning his matches. If it's the same thing, if he tells Judgment Day against Seth at Money in the Bank, says, stay in the back, I don't need your help, that's a babyface move. Yes, 100%. But if then they still help him and that's how he wins the match, I'm looking at him as like, well, maybe you're a babyface, but also you still needed the help. So I don't buy you as a bigger babyface than someone like Seth Rollins, who doesn't need any help. So I don't buy you as a bigger challenge, heel versus babyface, against Gunther. And it's nothing against Priest in there, who I think is a very good wrestler, who I really enjoy as a character. He's got the Vin Diesel voice. I love me some Vin Diesel. So it's not that I don't buy him there. It's that what I'm watching on television, it's tougher for me to buy than someone like a Seth Rollins.
Okay. I think that's fair. I would have liked Damian Priest coming out and saying something to the lines of like, I didn't ask for his help. He showed up. I would have beaten you without him, yada, yada, yada. That's a little more, the problem is that's a little more heelish because he didn't have Drew McIntyre beat.
Right.
So you're kind of stuck in this position where you can't bring it up as a babyface thing. You kind of just have to breeze past it. And that's the most frustrating part, is like you're telling 3 different stories in the match and you can't touch on all 3 at the same time because of the way the depth chart aligns. So it's a good point. It's worth thinking.
Well, that's why I think it was actually kind of smarter to not bring it up.
Right.
And Seth's return kind of helped with all of that, because if Seth doesn't come back, who knows where we're at, but Seth is back. So that's helpful. And now you have your real top babyface on the show, because that was the issue this whole summer in trying to think of which way they were going to go. Is McIntyre big time heel, Gunther heel, Priest for the most part heel, even though kind of shades of babyface in there, but it was 3 heels, and this is why I wasn't super sold on Priest and Gunther. It's like, your heel side is strong. You don't have any great baby faces right now. Punk's hurt, Seth is hurt. So who's your top baby face on Raw? Like, before these guys, it was Jay. Like, Jay was basically the top baby face on the show. Now Seth is back, which is, he slots in immediately as the top baby face. If CM Punk is healthy, he becomes one of your top baby faces as well, until he has to feud with Seth. And then, whichever way they decide to slice it is how they're going to slice it.
They got to make Punk for that shit. They really do.
And they probably will.
They probably will.
But that's why I immediately jumped towards, Seth and Gunther is the match, because Seth is by far your top babyface there. Gunther is a very strong heel. You set this up before the Rumble with their confrontation, so you can go back to that. There are ways to do it with Priest. We've talked about it. I don't think we need to fully rehash everything. It's just right now, not fully sold on it.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from. I'm seeing the chat. A lot of them are talking about the inevitable breakup or splintering of Judgment Day, and they've splintered before, but they've always come back together. This might be the first time where they actually have a threat, because you've got the Liv stuff. She's coming in from the outside and causing some issues, and then Balor also this past week on Monday was like, I'm going to win Money in the Bank, and then I'm going to cash in and on Cody, and like. At the same time, behind every little lie is a little bit of truth. So,
well, then he lost his qualifying match. So who cares what Finn has to say?
Yeah, but let's not forget Jeremy Lambert. What is a staple in Triple H's booking philosophy? Bunch of triple threats, and whoever didn't take the pin, or whoever did, it doesn't matter. Whoever loses gets put into some sort of last chance bullshit match. Finn Balor's going to win that.
Possibly.
Finn Balor's going to beat who? He's going to beat Braun Strowman, that big son of a bitch. He's going to beat, sorry, I have to do it every time now. He's going to beat Big Bronson Reed, that also seemingly big son of a bitch, very big. And then he's also going to beat Rey Mysterio. Who else is he going to beat? He's got to beat a fourth guy.
Why?
I don't know. Just I guess he is the
That's
fourth.
everybody.
It'll be a fatal four-way, and there's a winner. Finn Balor is going to win the fatal four-way.
Because it's 3 aside, right? It's 3 from Raw, 3 from SmackDown. That's what they said.
Yeah, so that makes sense. Yeah, and that's what we talked about on Monday. Was it was probably going to be 6, and that's how they're going to get there: 2 triple threats and then a last chance 4-way. I guess it's so ridiculous.
That's so dumb. I don't. Yes, then, well, we don't know that they're going to do this. By the way, Joel could just be making things up.
Yes. However, reading the tea leaves tend to be something we do very well in this program. And also, again, Triple H booking dictates that they do some sort of last chance BS qualifier. And that's how you get there.
Yeah, last chance qualifier is kind of dumb. So hopefully they don't do that.
But they will half-assing the shame of the pin. Listen, I can only half-ass so many accents.
All of your accents are half-assed.
That's true. Get your idea before for an accent for today's AEW Dynamite preview. We need to do one. Gianna sends a super chat saying, do you think there's a possibility the World Heavyweight Championship match at SummerSlam could turn into a multi-person? They never said King of the Ring gets a one-on-one shot, just that they get an opportunity. I think it devalues King of the Ring. I think it devalues a main event match like this. And I say main event in the WWE vernacular, where it's a highly touted tout.com/WWE match. And I just think that leaving it one-on-one is the way to go. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. It's a possibility. It feels like they're just going to do one-on-one. I think they want to keep the King of the Ring, Queen of the Ring is like, hey, you earn a big match at SummerSlam. You get a one-on-one shot. Now, if somebody cashes in, makes it a triple threat match, that's a whole different discussion. And, that is also a possibility. We don't know who's going to win the briefcases. So if a babyface does win, maybe they are like, you know what? Let's make this a triple threat match. Let's say, Seth can't win Seth can't win the briefcase. Let's say Jey Uso wins the briefcase. And he's like, at SummerSlam, instead of Gunther against Seth, Gunther against Priest, this is going to be a yeet threat match. And we're going to do this yeet ways. 3 yeets. There's still yeets in there.
Just yeet down. It's going to be a yeet down. And there's no other way to explain it. What's a yeet down? Yeet. And then he just walks away.
People don't like Jey Uso. Jey Uso rules.
There are people who don't like him, but they don't understand him. Nobody understands Jey Uso like we do. Yeet. Just yeet. You just got to yeet your way into it. You just got money. If you get yourself a yeet case and you get yourself a Pretty in Pink Tiffany Stratton case, that's going to be the most unhinged grouping of Money in the Bank winners ever. That is going to be the most WWE marketed, monopolized Money in the Bank briefcase winners ever. And I am all for it. They'll make so much stupid money off of this shit. And I just love the idea. By the way, Blue Jays, if you're listening to this, anyone who works for the Blue Jays, if they haven't broken up by Money in the Bank, give me a Judgment Jays jersey. It's just a Toronto Blue Jays jersey in purple. It's just a purple Blue Jays jersey. Call them the Judgment Jays. Do a thing. That's all I'm asking.
Judgment Jays.
It's very funny. Or you could do Judgment Jay Uso, but he's not part of the group.
There's an AI Yeet Championship.
Because of course there is. We're investigating this.
Hold on.
I gotta see this. I gotta see this shit.
I'm just gonna try to search for a Yeet title.
I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. Someone put it in the Discord. Put it in the Fightful Select Discord. I gotta see this shit. Because that would just be the worst.
What if we had, like, do you think we could have AI create this? Oh, wait a second. I found.
Does it look good or does it look like AI?
No, it's not even like it's just animated. Like, it's definitely AI. Like, if you have it, let us know.
Ryan. Yeah, let's see this thing.
My kid downloaded a Yeet title on 2K24. That's what this looks like. This looks like a 2K24.
Oh yeah, there it is. I got it. Hold on.
Okay, you got it. Okay.
Yeah, I got it.
Let me see if it's the same one that I saw.
I don't think it is. This one is actually an AI generated.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm excited. Let's do some yeeting.
Here it is. Okay,
wait.
This is it.
Oh, that rules.
You know what? AI art typically looks awful. It's the first time where I'm just like, this isn't terrible. It's not great, but it's not terrible.
Oh, I need that.
Yeah, the WWE logo is getting better. It's still bad, but like, this is hilarious.
No, that's legitimately. I mean, it's god awful. It's a Yeet title, but it rules.
Yeah, Alex, like, thanks. I hate it.
That thing's fantastic. I'd wear that. I'd take that around the shows. Like, what up? This is my Yeet title. You'd stand out with that thing. You know, everybody's got their, look at my giant WWE logo branded title. Who cares about that? Look at this fucking Yeet title that I got on my shoulder.
When are they going to, by the way, thanks to Ryan Lambert for sending that. When are they going to change the theme from Uso to him just yelling, Yeet? And then they do the full entrance.
Now, Def Rebel would have to do some work.
You don't think they have a Yeet on standby to throw in on that MP3 track?
Again, they'd have to like do something. Like, I would allege that Def Rebel has not done any work on any of these theme songs. So why start now?
So this brings me to the next topic. Remember I said I was going to get angry with the internet. Let's talk about last night, NXT.
Hold on. The Yeet title is the spinner. That was great.
Is the Yeet in the middle? That's what
spins. Oh.
Ooh. It's got to be round. It's got to be the round belt.
Like the US
like
title.
The
spinner?
US title. Yeah. It's got to be that. Give Pat a Yeet button on commentary. Stop giving them ideas.
Press it. Yeet. Oh, that'd be great too.
It's just Yeet.
I love all of this.
This is so bad.
Michael Cole's just like talking and he goes, Yeet.
Oh my god, we're gonna get to NXT in a second. But when Jey Uso is coming to the ring, this is when I turned it off. This is when I was like, and that's enough wrestling for me. It was Michael Cole with his phone in his hand. Look, I'm yeeting with my flashlight. And that was the moment. It was dead for me. He's saying yeeting. It's very, it was so awful. I'm yeeting with my flashlight. And you just see him. Camera goes over to Pat McAfee, who's doing the thing. He's on the announce table. He's thrusting his hip. He's putting his dick out. And all of a sudden you just see
putting his dick out.
You see it. You see that. You just see Michael Cole just going like this, like an old 50-year-old guy at a MAGA convention.
I don't remember Pat McAfee or Michael Cole's dick on this show, Joel.
We didn't see Michael Cole's dick, that's for sure.
Did we watch the same show?
I don't know. I was tired at that point. It was 10:30.
Anyway. Joel.
Yes, some people pay more to yeet with their phone flashlight. Did you see afterwards, Jay was just like, Fireflies, they belong to Wyatt Sicks now, not me. Bye-bye. I don't want this.
Yeah, I brought that up earlier in the show. Pay attention.
No, I don't pay attention to this show.
Clearly
not. That's what people pay for. Anyway, Let's talk real quick about NXT. Let's talk about this. As the partnership turns. Yeah, I just see penises in wrestling when I get sleepy. Anyway, Joe Hendry comes out, and he's part of the Battle Royal, 25-man over-the-top Battle Royal. Him and Frankie Kazarian are the two TNA representatives. A couple more from main roster locker room. We talked about that being a possibility. Nobody else showed up. It was just the two TNA guys. The rest was NXT and a couple of main roster. Okay, sure. Joe Hendry comes out. He cuts the promo, gets the big pop gets the music, gets the big pop. Then he immediately gets thrown out. He's out first. Frankie Kazarian tosses him out. We know why. Because they're in a feud. We talked about it on Monday. If you watch this show, we inadvertently explained to you why Tuesday you shouldn't really care that Joe Hendry got tossed out first, because he got tossed out by the guy that he's having a feud with. And I saw people on the internet being weird, Jeremy. They're always weird. Why didn't Joe Hendry go further? Why didn't Joe Hendry win the whole thing? Why did Joe Hendry get tossed out first? How many people get a full-ass promo in front of a live crowd in their first ever appearance on any WWE programming? Do you want to answer that question, Jeremy? How often does that happen? The answer is not often at all.
Chris Jericho.
Chris Jericho is different. He came from being the talker. Also, that was like 25,000 years ago. Actually, this is the 25th anniversary this year of that debut. That was 99. Are we old?
Yeah.
We are old. Is that 25 years or is that 35 years? That's 25 years. Anyway, there are very few people who get that promo. And he got out and he had a huge pop and he got the promo. And you know what? If you're WWE brass, the only thing they care about is how did they look at you? How did they look at you when you get a promo, when you get a pop? They don't care about the moves. You know what your first wrestling match is when you are training to be a wrestler? It's a battle royal. They don't give a shit about your battle royal. They know you can wrestle. They know you can do the moves. So who cares? This whole thing is 25 years. I just got a message from the anonymous general manager. 25 years. The whole idea here was that Joe Hendry was brought out to get the pop, to get the moment, and then get tossed out by the guy that he's having a feud with in TNA. Jeremy, what happened at Battleground?
Battleground?
Yes, what happened at Battleground in the NXT Championship match with Jordynne Grace and Roxanne Perez?
The women's championship match, Jordynne Grace lost.
She lost, and how did she lose? Who got involved?
She lost because Roxanne Perez pinned her.
Who got involved in the match itself? Tatum Paxley. And Ash by Elegance. Who came at it against all odds to challenge Jordynne Grace for the title? It was Tatum Paxley. Who is going to be the presumed Slammiversary opponent for Jordynne Grace? Ash by Elegance. Tatum Paxley again. No, Ash by Elegance. This whole partnership, I think people need to understand what it's looking like right now. Stop with your Moose matches. Stop with your Rascals reunions. Stop with your X Division Mustafa Ali gonna beat people or not beat people moments. This is WWE getting good looks at talent that they really like, or 25-year veterans that they know can have a good standing in a battle royal, Frankie Kazarian. And then TNA is getting the rub, and they're also just moving their storylines along. Frankie Kazarian and Joe Hendry had a thing. Kazarian makes it far. He blames Joe Hendry for his loss in the Battle Royal. You've got the Jordynne Grace stuff, turns into Tatum Paxley getting a match, and now it's going to be Ash by Elegance. The idea here is that TNA is moving their stories forward on NXT programming, and once in a while, there's going to be a little bit of crossover. Moose isn't going to come over anytime soon to lose a match to Trick Williams. The Rascals, there's no reason for the Rascals to get together because Wes Lee is a number one presented babyface on NXT, and then Trey Miguel and Zachary Wentz are presented as the number one heel tag team who are complete shitheads. So how do you rectify those two worlds coming together just for the pop, there is no story there. One person in the Rascals case, someone needs to turn. Could you turn Wesley given this whole storyline with Obafemi and the I need the title thing? Yes. You can turn him into a heel and then he reunites with the Rascals. It's there. But in terms of the storytelling, there you can't really connect things that aren't currently in connection. And that's why this whole thing with Joe Hendry is interesting, because they're getting their look at Joe Hendry. And while that's happening, they're giving him opportunities that when his contract ends in TNA, maybe he's going to come over to WWE. Maybe he's going to come over to NXT. They gave him a microphone, and on night one, they gave him the entrance pop on a battle royal. They gave him the promo, and then they gave him the social backstager where he interrupts, where he gets to go on camera with Shawn Michaels and say, I'm coming back anytime, any place. And I believe that'll happen. But right now, that's all it was. It was just kind of like Simeon is saying, they're trading tryouts for a WWE prop, which is kind of how we saw it from the get-go. I don't know if you have anything to add to that, but that's just my editorializing on people getting real mad about things that make perfect sense to me, at least.
You spent a lot of time talking about NXT, Joel.
It's a 2-hour show. Give him 5 minutes.
That was 5 minutes?
What else are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about what? Go ahead. What else are you going to talk about? AEW Dynamite tonight? We got a preview. We do that 5 minutes before the show ends. 10 minutes, maybe. It's an internship. That's a pretty good way of putting it. It's like an internship. The TNA NXT crossover. It's like an internship. Oh. NXT is not on the level. TNA is not on the level of NXT. That's really what it comes down to. And I cover TNA. And I go to TNA shows. And I talk to a lot of people know what this is. And I really love that TNA are banding together as a company. And like they're promoting when their own show up on programming. I'm a big fan of that. There's a good locker room there. That's one of the reasons why I really love talking about TNA. But we can't sit here and talk about this being like this amazing partnership for everyone involved. It is going to be a good partnership, but it's not going to be one that's like that. You're not going to see worlds collide is what I'm getting at.
Wow. You don't think so?
I don't. Or if they do, when are you going to do it? You're gonna do this all the way to the Royal Rumble? Because that's the next time that they really have. I don't know. Maybe you do a Survivor Series. That's a good idea to do it because that is the one time a year when brand supremacy, yada yada, and that would work. That would be great. Honestly, you know what? I'll eat my words. Thank you. You were waiting to do that. That's what you spent the last 5 minutes doing. Do not do it again. I'll get a yeet button for your ass. You can do something like that around Survivor Series. I knew what you were doing. I saw you working away. Stop it. The worst part is that it cuts the mic for an extra second and it just messes shit up. You can do a bragging rights pay-per-view. You're very proud of yourself.
I'm always so proud of myself. If you're not proud of yourself, if you're not popping yourself, what are you doing?
You're going to get your wife to smack you later.
Oh, no, she's already messaged and said, you're so proud of yourself.
LMAO. That's the message I just got. Have a serious ass conversation. Well, not serious. Having a real talk conversation. That's what I get. I get yeeted on. It's pretty much what it is. You were just planning. You were just planning this the whole way through. I hate this. Don't pop yourself too often. It might just get. You might become self-reliant on your own pop. Don't know why I'm here. What am I doing here?
All right. I watched NXT, Joel.
I know you did. You have to. It's part of your job.
Well, that doesn't mean I always watch it live, but you know.
Oh, so the guy who was giving me shit about tuning out of Raw at 10:30 is suddenly going to be all
yeah, because you knew the Wyatt Sicks was coming up.
No, I was told it was happening at 9:56, and then
you knew Wyatt Sicks was still coming.
You know what the worst part is? That's nobody thought that 9:56 was actually Texas time, which is when it happened. I was like, I'm going to bed. Fuck this.
So I saw Joe Hendry come out. I was actually surprised to see Joe Hendry. I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Sorry, but before you say anything, I do want to point this out. This is the discrepancy. I don't know what it is. The difference between NXT's production values and TNA's. That theme, which already sounded good, suddenly sounded a lot brighter and a lot crisper on NXT programming. That Joe Hendry theme. Go ahead.
I'm surprised to see him because Shawn Michaels posted the picture with Kazarian backstage. Like, oh, that's why Kazarian beat Joe at the pay-per-view. Kazarian's in this match. Then Joe Hendry comes out and cuts his promo. Thought that was fine. Got eliminated. I didn't get mad about it because I don't care enough. I was like, oh. And he did the backstage stuff with Shawn. I was like, oh, they're giving him some shine. I thought they used Joe Hendry just fine. He wasn't going to win the match, right? Like, he wasn't going to be in the final four and telling their own stories with NXT with that. He was the most talked about person in that battle royal until the end when they did Javon Evans and Ethan Page and set up everything for later in the night. Otherwise, everyone was talking about Joe Hendry. Feels like they accomplished what they wanted to accomplish with him. That would have been better than him just making an entrance, being the 10th man tossed in the match, and then moving on with their life. Could they have done other things? Yes. Could they have done the promo, let him have an elimination or two, give him a little bit of shine, and people are like, oh, okay, cool. Sure. But people are going to be mad regardless. Because, like, why didn't Joe Hendry win? Why wasn't he the final four? People are just going to be mad about being mad. Thought it was fine.
Also, what has Joe Hendry's presentation been ever since he came to TNA up until recently?
I'm with Will, by the way, of like, that was kind of like a heel promo of like, I'm going to win your title and take it back to NXT or take it back to TNA.
That's fair.
Like, I didn't fully love the promo.
That's fair. This is kind of what I'm getting at. Up until recently, and I'm talking in the last 3 weeks, maybe, Joe Hendry has been like the song guy. He's just been the guy that sings a tune, does a diss track, and then either loses the match or wins a low-level, comedy act or a digital media championship. This is the first time where they're actually trying to actively make him a serious wrestler who goes somewhere. And they only recently started doing that with his involvement with the system and now with Frankie Kazarian. This is the beginning of something with him. Now, with that in mind, I like the idea, at least, of maybe making Joe Hendry a bit of a heel in NXT, being the TNA guy. I don't know if they'll do it, but I like what Will's saying is, is Joe Hendry a face, kind of healed out, saying he's going to take it back to TNA. I mean, they should. The idea here is that this all becomes a brand supremacy thing. So I really think that by November, maybe they will do not a Worlds Collide, but they'll do we'll call it Worlds Collide. Sure, whatever. TNA versus NXT pay-per-view. Problem is, some people are going to have to win, and champions getting involved.
NXT people.
Yeah, it's going to be mostly NXT people, and that's why it's just like Moose wants to do things, and Mustafa Ali wants to do things. The rest is like, sure, but you got to make sure that everything aligns before you get there. If you have the Rascals team up, then you've got to figure out if all three guys are heels or baby faces. And right now, I really don't think you need to make the Rascals baby faces on TNA programming, but you can get away with making a big asshole heel out of Wesley, and then you can do it.
Maybe. You actually are putting way more thought into this than I thought you would, because before you were like, I'm not going to really talk too much about it because they're not doing a whole lot. Now I guess they're doing a little bit more with Kazarian and Hendry showing up. But now I'm of the mind of like, they're just kind of doing small pops and moving on. So
yes. And this is why I'm not booking an entire TNA versus NXT card. It's more like I thought about this working, and the only way it does is Survivor Series time if you're going to use the traditional branding. But on top of that, you did have Joe Hendry being like, I'm coming back. And you know what? To make reference to this, Jordan Grace said the same thing at the Royal Rumble. She came back. So there is opportunity to do something. But I'm not saying this is actively going to be what happens. I'm not going to sit here and be like, next week, Hendry comes back, and then there's a big invasion, and then this happens, and that. I'm more just being like, I could see this being the idea, going from there. And like Pal Driver Finisher saying, because I covered TNA, I still got to talk about it in some form. But like I've been saying on the TNA post shows, I'm not putting much into this because everything they've done so far has been TNA talent show up. It furthers the TNA storyline. The NXT talent are just kind of operating around its existence. That's the way it goes.
NXT is such a weird show in that it absolutely rules. That 2 hours goes by so fast. There's so much happening.
That's
none of it makes sense.
Yeah, it
rules
because it's wrestling on crack, and you're just like, the hell just happened? And then they go there, and that's good enough. And that's why NXT, like, people can rag on NXT all they want. Oh, 200 people watch it. I don't give a shit about who watches it. I'm not a ratings discourse guy. I'm gonna watch this show and enjoy it, or don't, and then that'll be that, and I'll talk about it. And yeah, take the fantasy booking elsewhere, because I'm not gonna be like, what happens if Moose takes on Trick Williams? Who wins that match? Trick Williams wins that match. Trick Williams wins that match, and I'm sure the system gets involved. There you go. I just fantasy booked it for you.
Well, what if Moose shoots on him, beats him?
Moose ain't gonna shoot on him because Moose wants that WWE contract, and
Moose got a 5-year deal with TNA.
That was in 2028. He wants that deal, even though he said he wanted to retire by 40, and he's 35 currently. He wants that 2-year WWE deal to say he did it. We'll see what happens.
He'll make more headlines if he just shoots on Trick Williams.
That's true. That's true. He would make some headlines for that. Yeah, the NXT is for the Zoomers. Now I'm not talking about the generation. We're talking about the dogs, the Zoomies. That's who it's for.
The Brooks Jensen stuff pops me because I don't know like what the payoff is, but it just rules that they're doing it.
It's confusion. It's just confusion to the viewer. It's my favorite. I see people who are not watching weekly or keeping up on the backstage stuff, and I see their reaction on Twitter. Here's a good example. Our pal Cher Delaware, who sometimes shows up on FMC.
Sometimes, like every week.
Yeah, sometimes. She's taking a week off, right?
Not typically.
Okay. Anyway, Cher Delaware, who frequently and always without question appears on FMC without anyone asking. I guess you asked. But anyway, she shows up. She was watching the show last night and she saw the Brooks Jensen thing, and she's like, oh, I love how WWE knows to like move the camera away when a fan gets into a fight in the stands. And everyone jumped on it and was just like, actually, that is, and so on and so forth. There are other people who they didn't know that the Brooks Jensen stuff was happening. And I like that. And then there are some of us who were just like, oh, that's Brooks Jensen. That's hilarious. The way that they shot it this past week, by the way, was so funny in that they had Brooks Jensen, just his face land on the floor in the background of the shot. And I just see him struggling. That shit was fire.
They arrested him.
They did. They did the interview with, was it Javon Evans in the back? No, with
Eddie Thorpe.
It was Eddie Thorpe. And you just see him getting taken away in handcuffs. And all you can do is be like, oh, poor Brooks. He'll be back next week.
Well, he said he's a free agent in like 2 days.
Sure.
That's why I'm like, what's the payoff to this? He just re-signed?
Sure as shit ain't TNA.
Does he just, why not? Why does he just show up at TNA?
When is he going to show up? He ain't going to show up in Chicago.
Tapings?
Philadelphia tapings are in like 2 weeks.
Okay.
That's too far from now. You can't have 2 weeks off TV. No one will remember you. No one's going to remember him now. It's okay.
They can do a video package in the coming weeks of like, hey, we've signed Brooks Jensen. They can film stuff, Joel. You know that, right? Like, just because they didn't tape anything for the live crowd doesn't mean they can't have something they filmed.
First of all, the taping's in a week at Philadelphia. My point being, no one wants that. Second of all, they can't do it because he's not anyone's brother. If Brooks Jensen isn't coming with his brother, then TNA doesn't want them.
He's a family. He's a legacy, though.
He is a legacy talent. That's true. He does have a brother who wrestles.
Yeah, so they
Shout
could
out to Zach
potentially do
Jensen.
it.
or something. Zach Buchanan. Call him Zach Jensen. Bring them in together. Have a big family feud in TNA.
I just don't know where any of it's going. And like, he's doing social media videos. Like, I'm drunk. Just popping myself, bless him, looking up at the lights. Why am I not booked? Let me just show up here, try to get into the arena. They're trying.
What do you mean I can't get in? What do you mean I can't get into the arena? I got a badge. I'll work here. So that badge has been disabled.
I don't know if it's good, but they're doing it. Bless them.
Trying to get inside the building.
I got in the building. You know, he at least got in the building, and they just handcuffed him after that.
Well, now, why is security so damn bad at the PC that Brooks continues to evade them? Gets up and starts fights in the crowd, gets over the barricade and starts harassing the announcers. Like, well, why is Brooks Jensen so good at evading this awful?
Well, he's white.
Oh, go ahead.
That's it.
Just, I would like you to elaborate on this.
I don't feel like I need to elaborate.
I'm confused as to why you said that's the reason why, though.
He's white. They're like, white person. He's fine. And then he starts causing shit. It's like, all right, never mind. Got to get him.
But his hair.
What about it?
It's perm.
Okay.
I wouldn't trust the dude with the perm.
Well, they do until he starts shit.
Some Florida ass shit right there.
Yeah, he's a white man in Florida. They're like, he's all right for now.
He's the Ben Affleck of school.
He's just...
Oh, no.
He's just doing stuff. White people from Florida, they just get weird looks until they start pissing people off. And then it's like, shit, we got to actually do something about this.
Yeah, that's exactly.
That's all that's happening there.
It's Fallon Henley is helping him get in.
I like this, Ryan. Maybe there is a mole in NXT. I like that.
The mole is Fallon Henley. She's letting everyone in. Fallon Henley is actually from from TNA. She is the reason for the portal. Not Jordan Grace, Fallon Henley.
Maybe.
Yeah. Anyway, I think it's going to be a fatal 4-way for the NXT Championship at Heatwave.
Sure.
All right. Well, glad we got that sorted out. Two Canadian boys currently playing heels, taking on Javon Evans and Trick Williams. Well, not tagging, but you know what I mean. Oh boy, that's one way to have a main event.
Do you imagine Brooks Jensen and House of Torture? Roll.
Oh my God. House of Jensen. Wait, no, that's what you do on Thursdays.
Brooks Jensen's like running into Jack Perry backstage. Like, what made you join House of Torture? And he's like, well, this guy started showing up and he claimed to be a CM Punk fan, or he claimed to be a Bret Hart fan, but he's being all buddy-buddy with Shawn Michaels. That pissed me off. And Jack Perry's like, yeah, same thing kind of happened with me. This guy, big Bret Hart fan, just wanted to start fights backstage. It's like, they're doing the Spider-Man meme or the Leo meme, just like same thing. Brooks Jensen, Jack Perry rule. Yeah, Florida man Brooks Jensen. That's all it is.
Yeah, you can get away with it too. All he's got to be doing is wrestling Gators, and you just got Florida man written all over you. ZZ, remember ZZ from Tough Enough?
He should do it. He's basically Joe Dirt.
Oh yeah, looks like him too. Got that perm mullet going.
That's what I'm saying. Rule number 1, I'm number 1. Rule number 2, Gators number 2.
That's right.
You said there were 3 rules.
Then punch him in the face. Anyway, what else?
There's going to be 2. The only fight is going to be your face and my ass and you fighting for air.
Jesus Christ.
I think I botched that line, but
it doesn't matter. It's still good. Someone in the chat saying,
Joe Dirt rules.
I haven't watched Joe Dirt in years. Someone in the chat saying, wait, what if Brooks Jensen is NXT Anonymous?
Could be happening.
That would be awful, and I'm all about it. Yeah, you just need a lot of meth. I'm sure that would work for Brooks Jensen. Anyway. As I was getting to that. No, not that. You got your heat button and I got mine. There it is.
Yeah, my face in your ass, friend. Such good. I got the poo on me.
This show is awful. What are we doing? Oh God. Anyway,
Hey kid, you wanna go call the wambulance? You wanna go get you some wham burgers, kid?
Stupid. All right, what else are we talking about here? Well, we got 30 minutes. We got to do the Dynamite preview eventually. But what else are we talking about?
I wait for Sean to actually appear.
There it is. We continue to learn lessons
Get you some French fries.
I'd say his name and he appears. I believe in Sean Ross Sapp. It's awful show.
Me and Sean just quoting Joe Dirt the rest of the show.
That's all it is. That's basically you guys in your staff chat all day. Everyone else is just sitting around just being like, are we going to get any work done here? Y'all are just doing the entire movie. You started doing a watch along.
Still watch along to Joe Dirt.
Oh God. Yeah, it's already started and it's just in the chat. Oh God. What are we doing? What are we talking about?
I don't know.
This game. Yes, people saying don't talk about AEW. AEW talk makes people sad. We like things. We do. We just sometimes have to poke holes in things. We do it in WWE land too. We do it in NXT as well. I did it with TNA. Remember when I just poked a hole in TNA for the last 20 minutes?
It's impossible to poke holes in NXT. Impossible.
It is. It's so amazing because the second you think you've got a hole to poke, wham, they hit you with another hole. And you're like, all right, I guess I'm in this hole now.
NXT is so like disjointed that you can't, the whole thing is a hole. Like you're just stabbing at a hole that already exists.
It's like a big old Swiss cheese log. It just doesn't make sense.
Absolutely rules.
Oh, and yeah, people saying let's book NXT and AAA doing a crossover in 2025. How about not? People are like, oh, WWE wants to start working with brands in Puerto Rico. Yeah, you see, it's my hole. Well, stop it. Not my hole. Stop it.
Whole pearl.
Stop it. Do I look like Nia Jax over here?
Good.
Stop it.
It's good.
Ask your questions in the chat. Maybe we'll start fielding those instead.
Nah.
No, we're not going to touch the questions. All right. We want to, don't ask us any questions.
Who asked a question?
No, I'm saying people can ask me. Yeah, there you go. How big will that table be at the Smitty?
I don't know.
Will it be real wood? That's a good question too. Sometimes they don't have real wood. Sometimes it's plastic.
I hope that shit's like pre-cut and something to just easily. I don't want the little like wires on the side where I could easily hurt myself if that gets messed up. Yeah, I need it to be like an inflatable table. That's what I need. I'll go through an inflatable table. That seems like fun to me. I'm very scared of what Cole Radrick is going to do to me.
You shouldn't. Cole's got your best interests in mind. He can do it. He's a good dude. I like this Cole Radrick guy. He's done so much. Yeah, he can do doors.
Cole wants to kill me.
No, he doesn't. Come on.
I don't want to go through a door either.
Well, the doors are fine. Yeah, talk to Joey Janela. He's been on our show before. Joey will give you tips. Not the money kind.
Sounds good.
That's fine. Listen, I'm gonna see these guys in a couple of weeks. I'm gonna ask them how you should go through a table, and I'll bring back my expert reporting on how Jeremy Lambert should be taking that spot.
When did we all decide I'm going through a table?
When Cole Radrick was here and said you should.
Those words were never spoken on this show.
Spots were pitched, and we decided that maybe going through a table would be in your best interest.
No one said this.
People said it. Now people are saying a flaming table, and I don't hate that idea either.
Stop.
What? We give the people what they want here. We live for the bits. While you're singing Creed. Can you take me high? And then you get slammed through a table. Barbed wire? My God. Now the messages come from the ITW Anonymous General Manager. We didn't decide shit, she says.
Guess I got a wife and 12 kids.
That's fine.
I can't afford to go through these tables and stuff. Especially unpaid. I got to get paid for it at the very least.
Oh, you know, there are a couple of hot dogs with your name on it. They're literally going to take Sharpies and put your name on it.
No.
You're no fun.
You go through a barbed wire table, Joel.
See you at GCW, pal. I'll see you there. Everybody's going through tables. That's going to be the whole idea here, is that we're going to get every member of our chat to go through a table in solidarity with Jeremy Lambert going through a flaming table.
Stop it.
What?
Stop.
What are they going to do?
Stop.
What? Yes, I'm the champion. That's why I'm not going through tables. You protect your champion.
Cody would do it. Cody would go through the table as the
Cody
champion.
would go through, and you love Cody Rhodes.
That's unequivocally false.
Other champions would do it. Who's your favorite champion?
The guy I like the most loses all the damn time and hasn't won a title.
But he goes through a table because he loves this business.
Nope. He didn't go through no table.
I feel like
Just
Bryan
bleeds.
Danielson has been through a table before.
Just bleeds.
He does. Would you bleed at the Smitty? Take 2 baby aspirins, get yourself split open?
I'm not trusting anybody to do that, and I'm definitely not doing it. If you want to like ketchup packet me or tomato me, sure, but I ain't doing that. Are you kidding me?
Table or blading? I'm pretty
That
sure you know what
sounds
you want.
terrible.
I don't know about that. It sounds like something that could be rectified pretty quickly.
No. Not doing
Listen,
that at
all I know is that people here are masochists. They want to see it happen. They want to see it for love.
Love.
And you love love. Yeah, they want to see it for love of the game.
No.
You love love.
No.
So stop it. Stop it. I don't care who you are doing this. Go watch every single Bryan match and then come back. Tell me.
He's gone to a table at some point. He was probably in like some type of TLC or just some type of ladder match. But yeah, Bryan Danielson doesn't go through like tables often. That's for sure.
Yeah. Let's see what happens when I Google video this. Table
Sure.
for 3. We're off to a great start. Oh no, there's just a lot of stuff going on here. Table botch. All right, I can't do this right now. He went through a table at 30. There you go.
There you go. Oh yeah, he got taken out on a stretcher. Yeah.
Yeah. AJ Lee put, yeah, there you go.
Okay, that's Daniel Bryan. I don't like him. I like
They're
Bryan
the same
Danielson.
person. They're the same person.
Different names.
Feels like they're the same person. You saying you didn't like the hemp title? Is that what we're saying?
That's outruled.
That was Daniel Bryan, who's also been through tables just like you.
I like the title. I'm not going to a table.
You're salty about the Bucks take.
What was my Bucks take?
You probably hated them. Because you hate everything in
That's not
AEW.
nice.
You're the real AEW hater, Jeremy Lambert.
Sure.
Although you ask anyone on any given day and we're getting paid by Tony, so it's fine. One of us, I don't know. Oh,
Took a
man.
tombstone power driver from MJF to a table. Eef, that sounds like it sucks.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, why Soulable's team EVP? That's the problem. Extremely very petty. You Gareth. That's great. Anyway, listen, all we want out of AEW is for Jeremy to go through a table.
It's not happening in AEW. At least I know I'd get paid well if I did it there.
That's fair. You would. Would they do it? You think they would do it on TV? Which television program would they do it on?
I'm not going to say what I was going to say.
The buy-in? Would it be on Ring of Honor?
No.
I'm very curious. Do it on Rampage?
I had a good joke, but yeah, ROH.
ROH. We'll do it on ROH. All right. You're making people pay, really? You're going to make people pay the $10 a month just to see it on ROH?
Yeah.
It's on free TV every week. 3 times, 3 times a week. Someone asking, where's the story? We'd bring in Cole Radrick back to AEW just to tell the story with you. It would
Cole
literally
was Beastly in AEW.
That's true. We brought him on the show after he had done his AEW stint. Did his squash match. Who did he team with again?
He teamed with Brannigan.
Brannigan, that's right. And that we wanted them to package up together. We wanted them to work together again. They haven't done it though.
Cowards.
Just do it on the NWA.
Billy, they give me a bunch of cocaine to do beforehand. That'd be great. You wouldn't feel a thing.
You wouldn't feel a thing. Billy likes us. We ask him good questions, so maybe we should do it.
I don't want to do it at all. What is happening here?
I know. I got it. Okay. TNA. They're coming to Cleveland. They're working the same place where they did the first San Juan NWA show. Maybe you should do it at TNA. Maybe our pal Dalla will do the battle rap we've been asking for. He's a big, I want to bring in digital media crossover guy. Jeremy Lambert's big media crossover guy.
I'm not bringing anybody.
He's crossing over from news writing into whatever. But
why is Dalla going to put me through a table? It sounds terrible.
You're going to beat him in the battle rap. And then Dalla's going to get frustrated with you. And then once you do that, once he gets frustrated with you, he puts you through a table.
This sounds terrible.
There is nothing terrible about being put through a table. Well, I mean, except for the guys being put through a table. That's got to be painful.
I do not want to be put through a table. I do not want that. I am unable. I do not want to be put through a table. I do not want that. I'm not capable.
The capable part was a little too much like able.
All off the top of the head, though, Joel. Dr. Seuss sat here and was probably on a bunch of good drugs and came up with all of this stuff. This freestyling out here.
I mean, the problem is Dr. Seuss may not have been the one writing the books.
Fair.
You're in your Dr. Seuss era. Anyway,
Dr. Seuss got paid very well.
He did. AW Dynamite's tonight. You want to do the thing?
Isn't it your turn? Don't you got to do?
I do it every week now. When did it be? When you started becoming a big AEW hater, that's when I started doing it. Kamal saying Joel would complain why Jeremy's All Elite graphic came after a loss. We'd all be complaining that Jeremy got the graphic, but at least he'd get it. I would celebrate Jeremy's graphic getting.
I would rub that. I would rub that in RJ City's face. Be like, look at me, RJ City. I got the graphic before you. Yeah, everybody's asking for you to do the Krusty the Clown rundown.
Now, I've got Krusty's dad. Herschel Kristofsky was just, old Jewish man. I could do old Jewish man. Old Jewish man just sounds like this. That's all he sounded like. That's what Krusty's dad sounded like. Then he goes
into Krusty's dad?
Well, Krusty's dad was, you listen to his dad. His dad was like a New York rabbi Jew. That's what he sounded like. He sounded like this. That's what Krusty's dad sounded like. Whenever I start rolling my R's, that's when I start going Russian. And never go Russian. You never go Russian.
What is the Uncle Howdy voice? I don't even remember what he sounds like.
Is there an Uncle Howdy voice?
Yeah.
What is the Uncle Howdy voice?
I thought he wrote letters.
Oh, so it's like Eminem doing Stan?
Maybe.
Oh, that'd be good. People saying they're offended. Do what? That was Leno. Take your time, Joel. No Russian. I've been saying that for years. No one ever took me seriously. Oh, the Krusty thing takes a while.
You do Krusty?
If I were to do Krusty the Clown, would that make people happy?
It sounds so terrible.
Does it really? Is it really that bad?
Yeah. You actually sound more like what are the sisters? called? You sound more like them.
I don't sound like Patty and Selma. They're deeper.
Mm.
They're kind of like this. You beat them with a knife. You can't really do that. We're presenting
Can
this.
you do Santa's Little Helper?
Woof, 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 woof. How will this match be, boy? Chewy. Everything you pitch is rough. Can you pitch something else? Chewy. It's one of my favorite bits. Homer's a food critic, and he's like, the food was a little rough. You've been pitching that all day. Give me something else. Chewy. Perfect. Do Zoidberg. I don't know if I can. I don't do Zoidberg so well.
Was that Zoidberg?
I don't do Zoidberg very well. Yeah, it's not very good. Someone else does it. No, I don't think she did. Who did the voice of Marge Simpson?
I don't know.
Julie Kavner. No, she didn't pass. She's still around.
Okay.
Oh, the voice of Marge Simpson in Latin America.
Oh.
Her name was Nancy McKenzie. She passed away.
Okay.
Julie Kavner's still there.
Chief Wiggins.
See that one you can do. Yeah. See AEW Dynamite live Wednesday, June 19th. Live. Yeah.
Where's the rare? You sound like a mobster. Does Chief Wiggum do that?
Yeah, he does that. Listen to me breathe. He does that.
Okay.
If I didn't know any better, I think they're stalling. Yes, we are. Latin American March. I don't think I got that one. Oh man, Duke groundskeeper to Willie. We did Willie last week.
Yeah, we did that. Joel tried to do that. That was Drew McIntyre.
It was Drew. So well. Sounded exactly like Drew. I don't know what you're talking about. Sounded exactly like Drew McIntyre. I can't do Nelson. Nelson is just a weird voice to do. Just do Santa's Little Helper. Rough. And that's your AEW Dynamite preview for June 19th. Fairfax, Virginia. That's where we'll be. Are we going to talk about AEW Dynamite? The AEW World Tag Team Champions, the Young Bucks. Remember them? They have an eliminator match. They're going to take on the Acclaimed with Daddy Ass. Now, let me tell you a story about a time I was a daddy and I met an ass. Nope, can't tell that one. Anyway, Timeless Toni Storm. She's the champion. She's timeless, just like my ex-wife, except nobody talks to her anymore. She is going to have a contract signing for the Forbidden Door. What's the Forbidden Door? Again, you can ask my ex-wife. She'll tell you, but you'll never believe it. Excuse me for a minute. This is very difficult to do with raspy voice.
This is going to make a tremendous short.
The contract signing is also with Mina Shira. What does that say? Shira France. Mina France. That's her name. Forbidden Door. Mina and Tony. They're going to sign the contract for Forbidden Door. And then in a face-to-face, this is the one that really gets you excited. Swerve Strickland. Did you know he's a champion? He's the AEW World Heavyweight Champion. He's going to go face-to-face with William Ospreay. This starts to really hurt after a while. Will Ospreay, he's the international champion. International what? I don't know. It's international, and the world and the international championship. Back in my day, those were the same thing. Got the laugh. Doesn't matter. Everything else is shit. And then in an all-star 8-man tag, tell me if you've heard this one before, because I have. The AEW World Heavyweight Champion. That's Mark Briscoe. He's a chicken farmer, I think. And he's going to team up with Kyle O'Reilly. He's the king. He's a guy. I don't know what he does. And then they got Orange Cassidy. I like that guy. He's like a clown, but a sad clown. And they're going to team up with Dante Martin to take on the team of the World Television Champion. That's Kyle Fletcher. And then Roderick Strong. He's also a sad clown. And then Konosuke France. Konosuke France must be related to Mina. Remember the girl from earlier? They're going to team up. And then Zack Sabre Jr., he's going to be in the match. Don't ask me why. He's just here. He just showed up to work. That's an all-star 8-man tag on AEW Dynamite tonight on June 19th, 8 p.m. Eastern, live on TBS. I used to have a syndicated show on TBS, but then it got yanked because the Reagan administration came in and they didn't like my art. It's art. And finally, to kick off the show, commercial free, it's going to be Rush. It's like a dog's name. He's going to take on my friend, someone I've loved ever since I met him. He's a great guy, a wonderful Jew, everybody's favorite. His name's Maxwell Jacob Friedman. Everybody loves him. And he's gonna beat up this Rush guy for like 30 minutes to kick off the show. That's Dynamite. Not just the show, but that's Dynamite. It's a good thing. You know, it's good. AEW Dynamite live, 8 p.m. Eastern, Superstation. And we crashed.
First half is better.
I know. We crashed our way out of that. It's fine.
You also like missed a couple of matches.
Did I? I'm just going by what's on the rundown here. What did I miss?
What rundown do you have?
I had the AEW on TV rundown from 7:00 yesterday, apparently.
Oh yeah, there was more matches announced.
Yeah, what did they add?
Claudio against Pac.
Oh yeah, that's right. They did the Owen cut.
Yeah, Statlander against Nyla, both Owen matches.
Yeah, good for them.
Yeah,
good for them.
Wow,
very excited for Statlander with her trained iguana to beat Nyla Rose, and for Pac to not be a bitch anymore.
Think Pac's gonna win?
I think Pac's gonna win. I don't think Pac's allowed to call himself a bitch and keep on losing.
Fair.
Yeah.
That one's intriguing. I think Pac will win too, but I could see Claudio winning. That one has some intrigue to it. I like that.
Well, if there's anything I've learned from my time in TV, it's that if you call yourself a bitch, you better not be a big old bitch. Hey!
That was good. I can clip that.
Go ahead.
I'm going to chop this up. This is going to make for a tremendous short.
If you can get it down to a minute, I applaud you.
I can.
Yeah, just take the good moments. What the hell was that?
Yeah, I can. That's all.
That's all it is.
Yeah, there's about 20 seconds of good moments. So.
That's all you need. We're back on Friday. Maybe if my voice comes back by then.
Louis left us a super chat.
Oh, thank you, Louis. I saw that. Yes. Just the money alone makes my voice just tremble with anticipation. 7 stars, he says. Well, thank you. Tell your friends. No one else is doing Dynamite like this.
Who's here?
At any point. Who could? I don't know. Who do you think it is?
Oh, God.
What?
No.
What? What's wrong?
What is up, Jeremy? How you doing, pal? Joel, you angel, you beautiful son of a bitch. How are you?
You brought it back. I love you.
We're back, brother. Jeremy, it's that, pal. You know, Joel, me and you probably known each other since only our first interview. Me and Jeremy known each other. We go way back, Jeremy, way back. And Jeremy doesn't send me invites to get on ever. Joel sent me invites back. And you know what we're going to do? Back to back, Jeremy? Just like we did last week, we're announcing a Smitty entrant. This Smitty entrant is a top 100 PWI wrestler last year. This Smitty wrestler is a former H2O hybrid champion. This Smitty wrestler is a former BLP heavyweight champion. Entrant number 9 into this Smitty is probably one of the best wrestlers in the world under the age of 25. AEW star and the current Ring of Honor Women's World Television
Really?
Champion,
My
Billy
God.
Starks, is entrant number 9 into the 2024 Smitty Werman Jagerman Jensen Memorial Tournament.
Let's go. That's the
Let's
news.
go.
That's a good announcement. Thank you.
That's a
See?
good announcement. All right. And see, now we got that out of the way. Big announcement. August 23rd, Spencer, Indiana. Jeremy, maybe going through a table.
Stop
Maybe
with this.
Maybe
Stop
it's
it.
set on fire. We're going to find
Stop
out,
it.
folks. And we're also going to find out who's number 1. And you know what, Joel? I just want to tell you, thank you for being a true friend. Because I've told Jeremy I would get on anytime there's an invite sent. Anytime.
I got you,
did
pal.
it, pal. Yeah, no,
I got
But
you.
you come on here
Friendship.
and then want to put me through a table or now set me on fire.
That's friendship. That's
that is
friendship.
friendship.
If
That is
Cole
true
offered me that
friendship.
same friendship,
What do you mean?
I would accept that olive branch of friendship.
I
Sure.
don't think you would.
I love you. You're my buddy.
Why are you trying
All
to
right.
hurt me?
I would never hurt you. I've been getting notes. I'm just getting notes from production. I'm passing.
Well,
around.
Cole, I have a wife and 12 kids. I can't go through a table. I can't set myself on fire.
Yeah, I got a beautiful lady and 4 kitties, and I still got to go get beat up every weekend, pal.
How much am I getting paid to do this?
For the love of the game.
No, stop. Everyone's on.
How much have I got paid for any interview? I did it for the love of the game.
You're not getting
My
hurt.
best friend Joel asked.
You're not getting hurt in these interviews.
Mm.
I'm getting. You're trying to injure me. You're trying to, make me immobile.
I'm trying to loosen you up, Poppy, and I feel like just the impact of some hardwood against your body, breaking through a tape.
No.
It's a great idea. Pay your dues, Jeremy. Exactly why. Okay, wait. Ryan said, Cole, we decided
Ryan,
that Jeremy
stop.
is getting through a flaming barbed wire table.
Stop it.
Do not deny the people of what they want.
I will. I will tonight.
King Pote, I tried to switch it up, bro. It was going in a weird direction. That's why I said
Never.
All
It's
right?
never weird when hardwood is involved.
It's never weird with hardwood. Yay.
That son of a bitch.
Now, Jeremy,
What?
it's just crazy to me that for the first time ever, I'm on 3 weeks in a row. Shout out, Joel. And you're just never that excited to see me, pal.
Because you're trying to kill me in a
Listen,
week
man.
or a
Oh
month.
no, hold on.
2 months.
Let's hold on. Let's be honest. Cole Radrick is a very safe worker. No one is saying that he's not a safe worker, and here we are talking about your safety at hand in a very safe worker's hands.
I mean, it may not be me doing it, but I just heard through the grapevine that when Jeremy
Who
shows
else
up,
is gonna do this?
Well, Billy's part of this whole thing now. Maybe she'll
yeah,
do
look,
it.
Billy Starks,
I don't trust Billy
9.
Starks. I don't
What's
trust Billy
What's
Starks.
wrong with Big Bully? She'll do it.
Listen.
I've heard
Jeremy.
the stories. Mouse has told me. Her own
Yeah,
father.
And then you can
has
find out
told me.
live August 23rd, Spencer, Indiana, for the Smitty, the best.
Now-
2019. I know it cuts off right there. The son of a bitch. And Jeremy, you get to find out who
Billy Starks is
number 1 will
pitching
be.
Canadian destroyers to people who've had a week of wrestling training. I don't trust her.
Are you talking about like this past weekend?
This past weekend, earlier, Ali Albright has told. these
Oh,
stories.
okay. Yeah. But
I don't trust Billy.
Ali will-
Billy,
Ali
we
will.
love Ali.
He's a good kid.
Billy Starks is willing to do some crazy stuff. She doesn't care about me. She doesn't know me like that.
Listen, when
She's like,
you're-
oh, fresh body to run into.
listen,
Sounds great.
I'm sorry that Space Jesus tried to elevate your pro wrestling ability. And the
I would
kid
do
was
it.
just trying. I'm just saying. There's only one way to find out. It's August 23rd. It's in Spencer, Indiana. It's when Jeremy potentially goes to a table. Joe, how's your day been, pal?
It's been pretty good. It's been a lot of fun. We've been We've been talking about some wrestling, but really we're just talking about, how much fun it would be if Jeremy gets a piece of table.
I mean, I love the flaming barbed wire table idea.
Oh, that's a good idea.
No.
It seems painful, but it's not if you do it right.
What?
There's potential there.
There is. Yeah. We talk about that hat you're wearing. I wanted to get that hat so bad. Talk about yours. Yeah.
I don't have a hat on.
I've been trying to get that hat or the beanie, the toque, as we call it up here in Canada.
The what?
The
Toque?
toque. It's called a toque. It's not a beanie. Couldn't get my hands on one of those things.
I was about to say, I don't think I got the beanie, but.
We'll steal that hat from you, though. Don't wear it in Toronto. I'm going to steal it. It's going to be my hat now. I'd have loved
Jeremy just staring off into the distance, wondering what's in his future.
I'm
contemplating life.
Listen.
So afraid.
He's okay. Don't be afraid.
I mean, what are you more afraid of? A flaming table or this upcoming Carolina Panthers season?
A flaming table. I don't give a shit about what the Carolina Panthers do.
I forgot who your football team was.
I care about my life.
This is worth bringing up. Mae Young was 89 and pregnant. She went through a table.
Yeah. What? You're better than Mae Young. Actually.
She's pretty great.
Mae Young is way more hardcore than I am.
Yeah. And on August 23rd, you got it, pal.
Look, people can believe in Joe Hendry.
I believe in Joe Hendry.
And we believe in the ability to put you in a table.
Stop it.
Hey, bouncing off that, right? So I had my little nephew who only watches wrestling maybe like 3 or 4 times ever when he was ever like hanging out with me. And he watched one of the Joe Hendry things on like TNA with me. Fast forward like, I don't know, 2-3 months later, and they just had the show yesterday. And my nephew decides to turn it on and was like hooked because Joe Hendry was on there. Like, that was pretty sick. I believe in Joe Hendry. Best-selling song in the UK. And Jerry just bummed out and unenthused. And we really got to talk about it, pal.
Man, it's
You
okay.
guys are trying to kill me.
We're not trying to do anything. Listen, we'd rather you know about the table spot than not. That's more dangerous.
No. I'd rather show up and just be told you're going through a table. Then I don't have to contemplate my life for the next 2 months.
Hey, Shock, Jeremy will never book me on this show again. Don't worry, pal.
Good news. It's not always up to Jeremy who gets booked on this show.
Yeah, I don't have any say anymore.
Oh, like this is so bad.
Now you got to hit up. Now you got to hit up Steven Jensen to do another creator spotlight and just spend 3 hours talking about this. And Jensen get involved.
I assume Cole's going to be on the show like the week of the Smitty, as it's just going to be harassing me that entire time.
I don't think there's going to be a week. I'm not on the show anymore, pal.
Well, I mean the spotlight, that the other show that I do. I got a lot of shows.
You do a standalone with those guys, a super professional appearance where you dress up and make yourself look like a wrestling promoter or something.
Everyone's like, "Oh, Mae Young did it. Oh, Dixie Carter did it. All this stuff."
They
got paid more than a hot dog and a handshake to do this.
Hold on.
What?
I said 2 hot dogs.
There's a connective tissue through all of this.
No, there's not.
Yes.
What?
Mae Young and Dixie both got put through a table by the same man. Very safe worker. One of our favorites. One Bullard James Rame.
Bullard.
Bully is his short name. His full name is Bullard.
Isn't that Titus O'Neil's name? Titus Bullard? That's not his real name.
That is. Now, our friend Bullard might
Why do you just okay, never mind.
to safely put you through a table.
Do you know his address too?
No, but it's busted open. We can just contact him through that.
No, it's hard to Jerry.
No, I don't. He doesn't like people from like the media. I don't think he would not treat me very kind.
You think Bully would do our show?
Maybe.
What if we called him Bullard James?
Yeah, I don't think he'd do it then.
That or he'd just be like, maybe these people just,
I'm very brittle.
Can't confirm. I have seen him. I have seen him.
I bumped on like gym mats yesterday and I'm hurting.
Why?
Why did I bump on gym mats? I went to gymnastics.
I thought you were practicing for, tables.
Well, that's what everybody said is, oh, you're practicing?
Sorry, the fact that he's not going to be.
It's just like, wait, are people actually carrying on the fact that you're going through a table on the Smitty?
There are two.
I'm scared that I'm going through a table in the Smitty.
Yeah.
Listen, I just keep getting these notes and bottles, bro. I keep thinking it's a Krabby Patty formula that I've ordered off Amazon.com. And it's just like little weird drawings of like, this guy with like, scrawny facial hair, scrawny build. And it's just table.
Guys gotta stop. Guys gotta stop.
Chat wants to keep calling him Bullard, by the way.
We should keep
calling Bullwinkle Raimondo was a wild one for sure.
Bullwinkle Raimondo is a good one.
we were
Hey, we got a countdown. We got a countdown. The countdown begins 65 days until Jeremy eats wood.
Oh, that's very much like I brought up Hey Arnold and Helga killing Arnold. That was the countdown. 3 days, 6 minutes, 30 seconds until you die. Now everybody's gonna do that to me. Oh, this sucks. We're 2 seconds away from the show ending. Joel was about to do the outro. We're about to.
The show is ending. I thought, look at me. Look at me being a professional.
Cole just shows up and tortures me.
Yay!
That was a good bit. I was very proud of myself with that.
Yay! Listen.
Back in better times, an hour
honestly, I thought it was like the 12-ish area onwards, so I'm glad I did not hesitate as long as I did.
Our show usually goes till 12 and then we're done. So
you guys suck.
And then I saw you and I was like,
but you know what's not going to suck? Smitty, August 23rd, Spencer, Indiana, entrant number 9, Billy starts. Love you, Jeremy. Love you, Joel.
Love you, Cole Radrick, the one and only.
I don't love Cole Radrick anymore.
You kidding me? That was the best segment we've ever done.
I gotta talk with him. And like I gotta figure out, this is mental torture, everybody. Okay? I want everyone to know this. This is not only, they're planning to physically torture me. They are mentally torturing me by saying I'm going through a table. You guys are pitching barbed wire flaming tables. Mental torture is what's happening to me and what's going to continue to happen to me for the next 2 months before this event. I can't sleep at night. I got to look at my wife and my kids knowing that I could be leaving them in 2 months. It's not kind. It's not kind to me. It's not kind to my family. Stop it.
Are you trying to tell us that you've been going through a lot of torture? That your house has become one of torture? Are you trying to tell us you are, in fact, living?
At least they got a bunch of people running in to help them.
You're making good points, but no one's gonna stop you. All you got to do is go through that table for the business. Yeah, turn on some current NWA. Fall asleep.
They're gonna kill me.
I said no. I'm invoking general manager.
The general manager has spoken.
The general manager says a lot of things. I can't stop what happens at a show that's not sanctioned by ITW. It's not my show to sanction.
You're encouraging this, Joel.
I am not encouraging it. I am merely being a conduit through which our chat operates their interests.
You're inviting Cole on. You're condoning all of this. You're not stopping it, Joel.
Well, it's not my place to stop it. I can't stop it. I won't be there.
You're not being supportive of me.
Oh, I'm supportive. Listen, we got a good scoop out of it.
Nobody's putting my needs. Nobody's putting my thoughts and feelings in consideration here.
Yeah, but like we got the announcement that Billy's going to be in the Smitty. That's pretty cool.
That was cool. We like cool sometimes.
We do.
I thought about it and I was like, do I trust Billy Starks to do this? And like on one hand, yes. On the other hand, absolutely not. Because I do believe she's not unsafe, obviously. But Billy Starks does some dumb stuff and just doesn't care, which is why she rules. Billy Starks would hurt me.
No, she wouldn't hurt you.
Mm-mm.
No, I'm sure if you asked her to be, to be good, she would be good.
Billy Starks would absolutely hurt me.
No, you'll be fine.
Mouse would tell her, like, all right, look, this is an untrained, like, clearly not ready for this. Go safe. And Billy's like, so what I'm thinking is that balcony over there. I'll just jump off of that and you can go through the table.
I'm picturing this happening in a barn, so I don't know where this balcony is, but sure.
Billy, what are we doing?
Why are we fantasy booking Billy doing this to you?
Well, if I'm going to do this, I would like the most well-known.
What's she up to?
I would like the most well-known person announced to do this. That's where I'm getting at. Like, if I'm going to do something dumb, let's at least make it count. Right now, Billy Starks is the biggest name announced.
Well, now hold on. I don't know. King,
yes.
I know what you're saying. And yes, I would be too. This 19-year-old girl is how you say, yeah.
She's way tougher than me.
She's a bully. They call her Big Bully Starks. She can beat anyone's ass. The fact that she hasn't beat up Tony Khan to get the song she wants in Ring of Honor shows how good she is and how bad she could be. Telling you, man.
Putting me through a table.
Bullard is just a phone call away.
Bullard Ray.
Bullard Raymond
Cole
is
Radrick.
Cole
I don't
Radrick
want any of these people to put me through a table. I don't want to go through a table.
We got 2 months to discuss how that could look.
No.
Winkle Starks. Damn it. That got me. Not going to help out. Sorry, King Potato. This is one time.
You should come to the show.
You should.
Louis, maybe I can have Louis as my fill-in. He can be my stunt double. He can go through the table. Right?
Have you met Louis yet?
No, I've never met Louis.
Never? Okay. We need to meet Louis. We need to meet a lot of people in the chat. Who will I see at Money in the Bank? Drop that in the comments. Maybe I'll see you at Heatwave or GCW. We'll find Brian Danielson. He'll come out and help you. Anything else you want to plug before we get out of here, Jeremy? I got to make lunch.
Guys, they're going to kill me.
In like 2 months, they might do it. But like, you got 2 months. Just start planning ahead. Two months is a long time from now. You can spend so much time getting all amped up. You get all excited.
No.
Yes. Yes. Some people are counting down, but I'm not going to do that. I am not going to do that. Instead, I'm just going to say, Jeremy, we got your back. We got you. See? Look at that. There you go. Anything left, Jeremy Lambert?
No.
We'll be back Friday, noon Eastern. Here to talk about everything. Till then, I am Joel Pearl. JOELPEARL. Ladies, gentlemen, friends beyond the binary. We'll see you in the next one. Cheers.